I've been struggling whether or not to have it in one mode or the other when I do this kind of stuff. Because it can be really nice to have it do the whole stop thing, but then sometimes I want to mess with stuff over here and it not stop.
Yeah.
Kind of depends on the game I'm playing.
Yeah, I want to turn this down a little bit more. A little bit more. Because like, there's no dialogue, it's just the music.
Something I've been realizing about a lot of these old games, especially these RPG type ones, is they're very heavy on the music. It's really, really hard music because there's basically nothing else you're listening to most of the game.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to worry about drowning out dialogue and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get rid of that. Alright, hey everybody, this is John.
This is Nerd Leader.
And we're playing one of my favorite Final Fantasies.
Oh, yeah.
This was the first one I played.
Oh.
So that is why it's my favorite. So we're gonna open up with some nonsense here. There are like 4 versions of this game within the first year that it was on the market. There was the Japanese version, there was the US launch version, there was the Final Fantasy IV Easy Type for Japan, which is modeled after the US version.
But it is a distinct, like, ROM and everything, right? Like, it's
Yes.
not just a retranslation, but it actually bug fixes and a couple things or something like that.
The US version got bug fixes. The original had bugs in it that, like, they're there. Deal with it. There are some really broke things, I think, in the original Japanese version. But anyway, what we are playing now is referred to as the Naming Way Edition.
Okay, I've heard of this edition. I meant to check it out, just never got around to it.
So the Naming Way Edition, as best as I can tell, what the Final Fantasy IV community, quote, 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 refers to as the definitive version of the game. It has all of the stripped out content from the US version, or that they stripped out content from the Japanese version to the US version. The translation's been cleaned up a little bit. Items have been restored. Functionality's been restored. Class abilities have been restored. There are a lot of different versions of this game out there.
Yeah.
There is a version called Project 2, which kind of used to be a part of the Naming Way Edition, apparently. And it has the US splash screen with the Roman numeral 4 at the end instead of the Roman numeral 2.
Yeah.
I tried to get as close to as possible to the original Japanese version because until I looked into this, I wasn't sure if I'd ever played the Japanese version of the game. It turns out I have, because I've played the one from Chronicles on PlayStation. Okay. And we could have played that one, but it has a lot of loading issues when you go into menus and some other issues. Loading it from the cart, quote, is a little smoother, a little easier. And of course, we're doing it on an emulator where we're smoothing out edges and making it look a little prettier. You know.
Sometimes the difference in the way some of the games on here I don't recognize as hard, but I could see it better on this than I could on Earthbound, how much you've cleaned it up with whatever, like, filter you're using.
Yeah.
Not that I couldn't see it on Earthbound, but I've probably seen this intro more than I've seen a lot of Earthbound.
Yeah. So, there are some other mods out there that I considered playing for this playthrough, but again, I just wanted to do something as close to pure as possible that wasn't me just replaying the US ROM.
Mm. I'm still interested at some point to see you do a run of that one with job changes.
Okay, yeah. So I have found 2 hacks of the game that I'm interested in trying at some point. One of them is called the Ultima Edition, which just adds... It's just a difficulty rebalance. It adds a whole bunch of boss fight stuff. It adds a lot.
You know, now I understand the world of challenges. I've seen stuff like mods of Final Fantasy VII that'll bring you to the very brink of your knowledge of Final Fantasy VII, right? And I get why people want that. But I think too many mods focus on that, forgetting one simple thing. What a comfort game is.
Yeah.
Like, this is not the easiest game in the world. I'm not saying it's the hardest RPG or anything like that. But you've played it enough that you can just kind of have fun with it.
Yeah.
You don't have to stress what you're doing, what you're getting, you can just do this, that, you know what you missed, you can go back and grab it.
Yeah.
But, like...
Oh, wait, hold up. You know what I forgot?
Oh.
Forgot that.
But you know what I mean? It's kind of like, if I'm playing Final Fantasy VII, I want the Final Fantasy VII I just know well enough I can just turn my brain off and do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying I'd never want anything else. Just, you know what I mean, right?
Mhm.
Like...
Yeah. Now there is some rebalancing and bug fixes in this version, so
I'm curious, because I'm not saying I wouldn't know it at all, but like, as much as I've played this game, this is also a game that I come to kind of, and often enough that it's fresh. I guess it's not super fresh in my mind. Like, I forget when I go to the cave with the demon wall, stuff like that. Sometimes I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And Caleb's just like, go to the demon wall, or that pit or something. But like,
I watch a YouTube channel called Seer. He does some pretty, I think, some pretty extreme challenges in these Final Fantasy games.
oh yeah, you showed me some of those videos. Yeah.
And the one where he plays through this game, but only women and no magic. And the 2 women characters are just casters.
Well, it is funny because stuff like that, that's why sometimes when you ask me, I remember you had to point out why it was unreasonable, that Final Fantasy VII one recently.
Yeah.
But like, can you do it? And it's like, well, you probably can.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be fun, but you probably can. But then you were pointing out how it's literally impossible without cheating, and it's like, oh, that's fair enough. But, like...
Yeah, no, like, but there's some other channels that throw out, like, some crazy challenges. And the one that gets me is someone did, like, can you beat Final Fantasy VII with only items? No, you can't.
Yeah, just because you have to make it through the whole first part of the game before you can even obtain that. Like, even if, let's say those guys with guns for arms in the first reactor dropped grenades.
You would still have to kill them without grenades.
Yep.
You would still have to kill them with magic or weapons or grinding. It's...
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that it's not possible to beat Sephiroth with fucking grenades or items or whatever. It is. It super is. If you want to put yourself through that, you could do it.
If I was up against Sephiroth, I'd probably use the veils you buy in Wutai.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just stick to one party and constantly use him until he died.
Oh, this version has a run button.
Oh. Have you ever played 6 with a run button and the shoes on?
Mm-hmm. And you absolutely positively gotta get places.
I don't know how to feel about added run buttons, because the purist in me is like, but it's not how it's meant to be, and then the lazy part of me is like, but it's so convenient.
Yeah.
Something I tend to forget is that Final Fantasy VIII, one of the many odd things about that game, is you are always running by default and have to switch it to the walk button to a run button if you want it the other way.
Wasn't that the first one that you could use the analog sticks?
Probably. I could see that, yeah. I mean, I'd have to check it out with 7, but I think that's right. Wait, also, okay, something I didn't realize for a long time, and I didn't so much have this pointed out, I just realized it, because I was watching people cosplay, like, I think it was Renoa, Squall, and Irvine.
Mm-hmm.
and they were doing the whole running around in circles and stuff, and everyone following them. And I realized, even though it's a big trope of these old RPGs, and this is the meme one. This is all RPGs are somehow Final Fantasy or like, wizardry, right? To a lot of people's minds, at least back in the day.
Yeah.
That's the only one where your party follows you like that. Like, in most of these games, like in this one, you can choose who your party leader is, but that's the only person you see. Of course, there are some like quality of life things that show up in these games that in the next one it's like, nope, that's not a thing anymore. Like how you can use LNR to like switch who's
Who's on the map.
Yeah.
I'm curious if they've changed something in this version that so I didn't know this for a really long time, but if you are in the back row, you have, and I knew this part, you have like a lessened attack.
Yeah, and
If you're in the center, it ignores that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That would make some I have a feeling they literally did that to make configurations I thought were basically could only be bad actually possible to be good. I would, it is funny how there's stuff in this one, like, how they kind of want you to put Cecil in the middle, or Cecil in the middle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in 8, they do that by default. But I feel like 7 was on the verge of that. It's kind of like between this one and 8, and like, well, he's always on the screen, but we don't want to put him in the middle. I remember I used to put him in the middle, and then when 8 just did that by default, I was like, well, that's wrong, but that's how I do it anyway, so I'm gonna allow it. Of course, that makes me think of, and it's funny how there's stuff in rumor. I can tell the guys who make these games look at the, like, rumors and, like, stuff like that about these games. Like, do you remember, I still feel like it affects something, but it probably doesn't. From what my research, it turns out it doesn't actually affect in Final Fantasy VII what you do in combat as far as relationships goes. Like, if you let Eris die or you guard her with the guard command, it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
It does matter in 10. How much you have them in battle, how much they get knocked out, if you're using items on them, stuff like that.
Wow.
And, like, so I don't know, it's like they're always giving us stuff and taking it away. Although I have to say it's funny because I didn't think 10 would be one where I got to pick what girl, like, the main character goes after. Since it's kind of like 8 where it's like, no, this one is your girlfriend. Of course, I really thought 8 was going to let me do that like 7 did. But no. You'll see her later. It's funny because I remember being kind of, I watched it and stuff, but I remember being kind of annoyed by the screen when I originally came across it, just because I spent way too much time just going around in that castle town, looking at everything, trying to find secret walls, talking to everybody, seeing what I could do, trying to find a place to buy stuff. And then I came out here and it's like, I was like, alright, I'm just ready to go out. And it does this, and I'm like, alright, I'll read it. I have no idea what this is talking about. So here's a question for you. Is that innuendo, or is that ignorance of American culture? Red Wings.
Oh. Why can't it be both?
No, I mean, you can't say Cecil didn't earn them.
Oh, wow.
Oh! So they thought it was a little much like, nope, it's over now.
That last line was just there for a second.
Yeah.
Man. We're gonna get all of our free shit.
Can you buy gold needles in this?
Yep.
I couldn't remember. I know you could buy a surprising amount of stuff if you get far enough in the game, but like...
Okay, so in the original Final Fantasy II, the US release, it was just heal. Everything was consolidated into a single Isuna item.
You know, I remember when I originally came across the heal spell, telehaving it, I was like, this is too fucking expensive. This is way overpriced. I didn't realize it was Isuna. I did later in the game, but I thought it was basically... I thought I was paying like 20 for just poison.
No.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Which actually makes that staff of heal a very good item. So are they separate ones in this? Is there like Poisana and stuff like that?
Well, okay.
I guess, yeah, you don't have them yet.
So all
Okay,
of
yeah,
the heals
yeah,
are separated now. So now there's
Okay, yeah.
Gold Needle for petrification, frog, blind, poison. They don't have...
Oh, you can buy carrots.
Yep. I don't know that that was available in the Japanese version. I don't believe that it was.
Yeah.
That's a freebie that I'm kind of just like, okay.
I do remember them being, I don't want to say a limited item, but not one you had that level of access to. I don't remember where I know you find some in the forests, and I know I've used them to store stuff, but where do you get them? Is there someone who drops them or something?
No, there are Toria. You can buy them in Toria
Okay.
because they have like the Chocobo farm and all that other shit.
I remember there being somewhere you could get access to. I just couldn't remember that it was that you just bought them.
Yeah, we're gonna get a level or two before we move on. JRPGs are a testament to my boundless patience.
Ah.
Cecil should have leveled up.
I think that's part of the rebalancing.
I think so. Cecil should level up, I want to say, in his first, like, 2 or 3 encounters. And he's going to level up in his first 5. That's not, like, a big difference.
Would you say it's a difference in the amount of experience you're getting or the amount of experience needed?
I think it's needed. It might be experience getting. Because, again, I'm not doing this from, like... It's been a while since I've played the original US ROM. So that could just be a difference in the Japanese version. These aren't going to give me shit.
I don't remember. Is this a different cane than the one you get later?
No. I'm getting significantly less gold, though. I can tell you that.
Okay. The prices seem any more or less reasonable to the new amount of gold?
They seemed higher.
Oh, okay.
So this is going to be a harder... this is going to be harder. Wow, I'm going to have to do a lot of practice.
I could see this being a thing of more like, you know how most of the beginning of the game, and I mean up to like when you get separated from everybody, it's kind of all about the same level because you keep getting new first level characters. It's all about level 1 to 10. You know what I mean? Like, I know the monsters escalate difficulty, but it's more like they're more advanced monsters, not necessarily truly higher stat monsters. You know what I mean?
They just do different shit. Yeah.
And like, I kind of wonder if they're gonna do it's more that these are the piddly at the beginning monsters, and there's gonna be more of an escalation.
Hold on, I want to check something.
No, yeah. It was like 10 originally, right?
It was 50, I believe.
Yeah.
It may have been 20. But the point is you got more gil.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, usually I find, and this isn't always true, but in Final Fantasy games that the Dwarf Beard do.
Dwarf Bread gives you sight.
Ah. But it's usually like one battle, maybe two, to get the price of an inn.
Nah, that's this has been rebalanced to be more difficult. I don't know. So, you know, whatever. We're in it. We're in it. This is welcome to the grind.
It does make me wonder how much more formidable the Mist Dragon will be. Like, there should be a carrot in here, right? Yep.
There's sometimes two, but I think there's only one here. Just one. Okay. Later in the game, when you come back to this, after you go to Toria for the first time, when you come back here, there'll be a black chocobo here.
Oh! Okay. I thought I remember there being one or two in some other parts of the game, but I couldn't remember where it was.
You can reacquire all of the airships and collect them back at Baron at the end of the game.
Oh.
And that's how you do it. $28 gil. Well, that wasn't bad. But Cecil has still not leveled yet.
He did more than Kane did.
No, Kane needed less. Or Kane needed more. Sorry.
Oh, I guess I saw it the other way around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brother, this is gonna be rough.
I do kind of wonder. Let me ask you this: do you think they changed high level leveling? Do you think once you hit after 75, it's not random anymore? It's just escalates, or there's
It probably just I think it escalates. I think I saw that in the notes where it's not random leveling anymore. Cecil leveled up.
It's funny how common that used to be in games. And I don't just mean like random amounts, but possibly detrimental leveling. I mean, with some of these modern games that they're like, this is a really hard RPG, it's really rough on your characters. It's like, have you tried Wizardry? Like, I leveled up, all my stats went down, and I got 1 hit point. Great. I mean, I remember the first time I got really far, and I think it was Wizardry 5. It might have been the first one. I made a full party of 6.
Yeah.
And my mage just died, like permanently, irrecoverably died. And then I just kept making more mages, and they just kept dying. And I was like, fuck it. Eventually just had 5 characters.
Spending money is gonna hurt in this game.
Mm.
I may have to resort to cheating to get money.
This does kind of make me wonder, like...
You know what? Actually, I need to make sure that something still works in this game.
The rebalancing makes me think of a long time ago. I remember hearing someone complain that being able to buy materia at stores, at least for such low prices, ridiculous in Final Fantasy VII. You shouldn't have that easy of access to that stuff. And it just kind of made me think of, what do you want to have to go through to get these? Like, this,
Yes. Yes. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. We're okay.
it'd be funny if that's why they made stuff more expensive.
If this is what they're expecting me to fucking do, fuck the people that made this. Yeah. I wonder if the...
Well, I still want to see how it curves up. For all I know, it curves up better to that by the time you're getting to, like, the base of that mountain with, like, where Rydia overcomes her fire PTSD. Like, do you make good money by then, or if it would be just basically still the same stuff?
I don't know.
You gotta try to sell your fist.
I'm gonna see if I know how to fucking do this. Oh, okay.
Because I've heard people saying that Tark is way too busted, and it's like,
No, it is fucking not.
yeah. I've yet to see it be busted in any of the games. Like in Final Fantasy VIII, that's one of the ways to consistently do 9,909 damage, but it still damages you the way it does. I've had that be lethal as fuck, especially when I've already decided to do it, and then they're like, down to super low hit points. I'm like, well, Skull's dying.
I don't have time to look this up. I want to look this up.
You know, a lot of these games, it's funny because, like, a lot of these games that give you free every round abilities, and that's not a one. Dark is not a free ability. But they tend to throw stuff at you. Like, imagine if your characters didn't have all the quote-unquote broken powers they have in 6, how much harder of a game 6 would prove to be.
Open the menu in a battle, go to item, and equip a weapon to a character in a way that allows you to swap it, creating an empty slot in your inventory where an item used to be. And then immediately unequip it. The game memory often gets confused by this. Go to a shop and sell the empty slot.
So what you didn't do properly was unequip it right away before you left the menu?
Yeah, hold on. So, open the menu in a battle, go to item, and equip a weapon. Which means I need a weapon unequipped.
You know what you could do? Is you could, I guess it's still requiring you to unequip somebody. As I say, you could have them equip something they could both equip, but you don't have any of that right now.
Do not.
No non-dark swords or no non-spears.
Yeah. So...
Oh, you're supposed to throw it away? I thought you were supposed to equip the item. Go look at your list of items. Like, is that slot available? That might have got. I wonder if that got rid of it. Let's see if you can sell it. Is that what it said to do?
As far as I'm aware. They may have just patched that, or maybe just doing it fucking wrong. Yeah, I'm bugged in already. That's probably something that's been patched. Because there are bug fixes in this game, and the underflow glitch may have been one of them. I think they may have left in... Well, no, because they left in duping items. And that's a glitch.
Here, look, let me see those instructions. I think I know what the problem is.
Okay, what did I do?
I think you have to have something else you can equip. I think you need to, like... I think what it is like, let's say you had 2 dark swords. And then you equipped an iron axe or whatever, right?
Okay.
That would create an empty slot. It wouldn't switch them out.
You're supposed to be able to do this, like, at this point in the game.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's just something that's been fixed for this version.
Try doing it again, but this time... Like, is there a button to push to, like... equip something out of, like... Like a... What here? And then, like... Well, I think what you need to do is, like... Here, go into inventory, like, yeah. Like, unequip it. And then pass around again so that, We're able to unequip it like that?
No.
Okay.
Guess you do it like...
Okay.
Okay, and this is unequip it again.
But, like... Yeah, now go put it on. And then take it off without leaving this screen, I think. Yeah, try that. I'm not saying it'll work, but these are kind of oddly vague instructions. It's probably something we need to watch somebody do it, but like you said, it could have been patched out.
Feeling it was patched out.
Well, go see what they have at this. Go see what you can mess with at the store. But
Just gonna move on.
okay.
There's probably something I'm missing, probably something I'm not doing. That's a glitch that I'm only more recently aware of. Like, I know about the duping glitch.
I mean, it is interesting stuff that games like that. Like, there's some other stuff like that that I have a hard time thinking of right now. Like, there was something just recently. I think it was in Dynasty Warriors 3. I accidentally pushed R3 button and it did some kind of attack with one of my characters I didn't even know they could do, and I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing. But
Dynasty Warriors is a game I need to play more of. I have to break out the one for the PlayStation 1. So it's like a fighting game.
Yeah, I have to say that made the focus on the duels make a lot more sense. That it was originally a fighting game based off a strategy game. Which, you know, one of the expansions for 4 that I might fool around with sometime soon is, whatchamacallit, one called Empires? Where basically you play Romancing of the Three Kingdoms with Dynasty Warriors combat.
Oh. Man!
I don't remember those guys being quite so deadly.
No, they were fucking not.
Do they want you to grind before you hit this cave?
Yes.
I'm just used to this being one of those early dungeons that feels rough when you first go in it, but like literally you can get through without expending a single resource. There's a few early dungeons like that in games that when you know the game well enough, you literally question, how did this used to kick my ass? Because I used to be so bad at getting strong in these types of games that I would linger in a lot of areas. Like I want to say the original time I came to this cave, I made multiple trips in, went back to town, and stuff like that.
I've done that before. Walked all the way to the boss, turned around, walked all the way back. Did that a bunch of times.
Have you ever tried doing something in this like you did in I know it would be harder to be fruitful because of, you know, various story beats, but have you ever done anything in this where relatively early on you like do a lot of level grinding like you did in 7?
No, you know what? I have never ground this game that hard as I did with 7.
Okay.
And that is... Oh my god.
I remember the first time I got seriously into that, some of the characters I had that I didn't know yet that would lead my party, I was like, I finally have their good abilities.
Well, I remember the first time I did like a major grind in Final Fantasy VII where I got to like level 60 or some shit before even being at Gold Saucer.
Oh, how far did you get through the arena? That was part of part of the idea of that level was getting as far as you could in the early arena, right?
Well,
like
that was the
3 different
original
versions of
idea.
the arena. Oh.
That was the original idea because I was gonna try to get Omni Slash before Disc 2, but it is absurdly expensive in Disc 1.
Oh yeah. You either have to really grind the games or find that one dude. Here's something. Okay, if you ever do something like that again, something that drove me nuts at one point, and I had to look it up to make sure, and it turned out it was this. The first time you go there, he will not show up.
Yeah.
You have to. It has to be on a later visit.
Yeah. So anyway, I took a picture of all of my characters and what limit breaks they had at that point, and they had all of them. I think.
Were you using?
I may have been later than Gold. I may have been later than Gold Saucer.
Were you using Fury brand?
No. I would just hit everybody with Hyper.
Good. You know, I used to use stuff like Hyper and Sandus. I kind of don't anymore, and I'm not sure why.
But
although
I remember, I remember I sent a picture of like Cloud had like up to his level 3 limit break. Barrett had up to his level 3 limit break. Everybody had like their level 3 limit breaks except for I think Eris, because at that point you still have to go get it and find it or whatever. And I remember I sent it to your brother, and he was just like, he just came back with "damn" in all capital letters.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. It's just gathering.
Although, you know, and this isn't an endorsement of the game, it just got in my head at one point. There are some Final Fantasy games, like 13, that something I want to learn about it is how the game wants me to play. You know what I mean? Like,
Cross Streams definitely does not endorse Final Fantasy 13.
I didn't say I endorsed it. I'm just saying I have
just-
a
I
morbid
wanna-
curiosity.
I just want to put that out there. Yeah, I knew that was happening. I didn't like hallways in 10. I sure as shit didn't like them in 13.
But, you know, I was thinking about, we were talking about that recently, and I kind of had some thoughts about how I think the real problem with both 10 and 13 is the idea of reducing something down to its fundamentals. The problem is that's not why people come to certain products.
Yeah.
You know, you don't go to Final Fantasy for the bare bones version. You go to like Dragon Warrior, Wizardry, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I know Dragon Warrior's gotten pretty fancy in modern times.
I mean, Dragon Warrior 12 still plays like Dragon Warrior 1, and I fucking love it for it.
Ah, yeah. But like, so this one's-
random ass monsters hit harder than the boss does. What the fuck?
and none of them are repeating monsters. They're all unique to this cave, right?
No.
Oh, okay. So I thought you had different monsters in later places. Is this the same fish in the place with Octomama?
Yeah.
Okay.
They might be a different color palette. That might be what's basically different about them. But no, I think a lot of the stuff that you fight in this cave, you fight in the dancing caves.
Okay.
So,
You know something you don't see as much in Final Fantasy games anymore? I must say you never see them as fish. Should be a lot of underwater enemies. It'd be funny if someone was like, "It just looks silly," and it's like,
careful there.
yeah.
That awarded me accurately.
It would be funny if, let's say, you go and fight the Earth Fiend, the whole mountain is kicking your ass. You're just like, "Well, this guy's easy." What was it called, the American version? Was it the Parcel?
Package.
That's it. I remember that. That was one thing that I thought was. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense that it's called the bomb ring or whatever. It's called something else in this, but like, I also felt that was too much of a giveaway right away. It's like, well, I mean, if I handed you something that I was like, "Here's a bomb ring. Go over and have some peaceful relations with this people," would you question, like, it doesn't have to be in the context of these kinds of bombs. If I do just, "Here's a magical bomb ring. Go talk to these people we don't like." Yeah.
In the Chronicles version,
Mm-hmm.
it spoils that. Because it's called Bomb.
Oh.
I don't like that they have
that
they use eidolons.
That is a problem because summon monsters have different explanations. Some of them they are icons, and some of them they're multiple ones. They're Idealons, but they're not always. Sometimes they're espers or ancient spirits or gods. You know what I mean? It's like,
I will say so far in this translation that is my only
the only meaningful gripe.
I wouldn't even call it a meaningful gripe, just kind of like I wouldn't have used that word.
Yeah, me either. Just because they're so different in this. They're not like concepts. They're literal people who live in a place.
I probably would have just left them as summons.
Is that what they called them? Or they called them monsters? What did they call them before?
They called them summons.
Okay.
Well,
it's the land of the summons.
Well, it's the land of the summon monsters, I think, in
Okay.
the US version.
I wonder how many people don't get the weird vibe of this conversation here, and it's like, these are two sworn knights talking about their liege lord. This is a dangerous conversation to be had.
Well, I mean, you notice how Kane leads, right? He's like, "So, are we going to finish the job?"
Yeah.
He's waiting for Cecil to be like, Well, now hold on.
Oh yeah, I mean, there is a reason that Cecil approached him menacingly and he backed up. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Because, I mean, if you think about it, it's a different kind, but Cecil turns on Kane here before Kane ever turns on him.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of a, do I have to kill my best friend to save this girl?
Yeah. Yeah, no, this whole dialogue could have gone south in a much different way.
Yeah.
And even though Kane has fewer hit points, Kane is a higher level than Cecil.
Yeah.
So.
So, do you think they spell his name the way they do to differentiate him from Cain from the Bible, or do you think that is the illusion? They just don't want it to be so obvious.
No, I think if they were gonna go for that, they would have.
That's what I figure. I've never been quite sure what they're going for. Maybe it's just a cool Eastern or Western sounding name, but like.
I think it's just a cool Western sounding name.
Now here's a question for you that shows how, like, what a cultural void I am. So, do you ever watch Kung Fu?
The original one?
Yeah.
Not much of it.
Let me ask you if you can answer this question. Why does Cain walk the earth? Is he banished? Was he a bad guy? Is he just a wandering monk for no good reason, and that's just the premise? Like, I'm not trying to hate on any of those versions. I'm just like, is he exiled? Like, is it an allusion to that, or?
I think he was looking for the people that like destroyed his temple.
Ah, okay. So I don't want to say revenge, but something like that.
Kinda. Because, Kung Fu The Legend Continues brings up a lot of that stuff.
I don't know. Did they reboot the series at one point or reinvigorate?
Yeah, in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
They got the actor to come back, and he's solving crime with his cop son in San Francisco.
Ah, I mean, that is the actor. If you want him to get in something, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll do it."
Oh yeah, no, he was.
He kind of made the Mortal Kombat movie happen. I mean, if you look at some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, there's a few times when he's like, "No, this is gonna happen. I'm gonna fix this situation." I mean, he was also what's his name, Bill, right?
Yeah.
Which that was something that was a little culturally lost on me, is Cain playing a bad guy. Because I remember watching it being like, I'm missing some of the context here. Because I feel like, how much was he an inverse Cain, basically?
I will say that the ending, the dialogue at the end, set up Superman in a way that I just not really thought of the character before. And I was like, wow, he's right. The archetypal superhero is the inverse of what every superhero was afterwards. 246 Jesus fucking Christ.
So do you think,
Oh, but it's not being split up.
So do you think... Oh... Do you tend to think of a, Superman as more of a grim overseer than a naive Boy Scout?
Nah, he's a naive Boy Scout. I don't like injustice.
Because I have to say that I disagree with, I'm not saying that, it can't be right. I just personally disagree with, that analogy, because the way I see Superman, and maybe it just comes from later versions like Lois and Clark.
Yeah.
What I grew up with. But to me, Superman is the fake identity, and it's Clark Kent hiding behind it.
Yeah.
But my interpretation's not necessarily right. That's just how I see it.
Yeah.
But I get his whole point of view, and I think, that scene is important because it really tells you how he feels about himself.
Mm-hmm.
That he's above putting on the mask. That's, kind of like, this is the world is. And yet I'm above that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How did these guys get through the fucking mountains?
That's a good question. I'm gonna say they were dropped off by an airship.
Okay. Okay.
That's not what I've ever pictured before this point. I literally pictured them walking over from Barad to here, but you bring up a good point. That's my only excuse.
Then the question is where did they land?
Yeah.
Are they paratroopers?
Okay. Here's the real question. Considering their general policies, why didn't they just bomb this town?
I guess they were hoping Cecil was still on their side.
Ah.
Kainazu, I think, knows who Cecil is.
You say Kane knows?
Cagnazo.
Oh, yeah.
I think he knows who Cecil is. And Golbez... Well, Golbez doesn't know.
You know something I can't remember? I know.
No, you know what? Cagnazo probably doesn't know who Cecil is. It doesn't make sense for them to spare Cecil's life. You're right. Why did they just bomb Kate? You know, whatever. Incompetent villain's gonna incompetent.
Yeah.
Kids, when you play through this part of the game, always kill the general before you kill the last soldier. Get every last drop of experience you can at all costs.
You know, speaking of the soldiers and stuff in this, because they're often used for commentary in Final Fantasy games. It's not just 7 that does this, but in 7, it had a very... The original 7 had a very practical view of everybody. Like, everybody's just people. Like,
Yeah.
7 and 8 did a lot of that with their soldiers. I'm not saying 6 and some of the earlier ones didn't, but those two did a lot with it. Like, seeing their plight and stuff. But is it me, or does the remake sympathize with Shinra's soldiers a little too much? And part of the reason I say that is Shinra doesn't conscript.
No.
You have to go and sign up for it.
And that is why you kill the general.
Ah, man. Now that leveled him up.
Yo.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, like, I remember seeing that part where there was that little battalion he was running around, and he was having them murder their own men, and they realized that's what they're doing. Then they just let him go, and I was like, are we supposed to like these guys? You know, like, it almost feels to me like a certain kind of, a very specific kind of asshole who, like, knows they're bad guys, kills other people from their own faction that they're loyal to, just because, hey, we liked our commanding officer. Of course, man, thinking of that section of the game, they hid those guys so well. If I had to do that myself, I wouldn't even remember where you found them all.
I remember all the rumors back in the day about how to add Sephiroth or revive Eris in Final Fantasy VII, and all of it just involved just absolutely bonkers nonsense.
You know, it's something that would be neat if there was a normal playable version of Sephiroth in the game. Because that makes me think of a mod I'm mildly curious at, might try to play at some point, is someone made a mod of Final Fantasy VII where your party is Sephiroth, Dyne, and Jenova.
Why?
I don't know. That's part of what makes me curious about it. Because it's like, I can see Sephiroth and Jenova, but why Dyne? I'm not against playing Dyne. I can see playing
Because
Dyne.
you need somebody with long range.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure Sephiroth's, you know, your DPS, and what's your name? Jenova's your magic user. So yeah, you're right. You need the guy with range for those things to get up in the air. What was the first one of these with the back row? Was it this one? Or was that in 3 or 2? Actually, 2 has a back row, doesn't it? So never mind, that came up in 2. Yeah. Oh, no, wait.
That I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking 2. I need to play more of 3. I need to get a translated ROM of it because I really want to play the original version. I'm not necessarily opposed to the other version. Just there's some aspects of it that are so different.
I want to play the I want to play the Final Fantasy VII remake that's built on top of Final Fantasy 3.
Oh,
And
that sounds neat.
the one that's out there is just disc 1.
Do you remember that Final Fantasy IX side-scrolling beat 'em up that I came across? it was one of those made on top of some other game type of games, but you run around as Zidane just punching like stuff, and it's just like I remember thinking it was neat, but also being like, it takes so long to kill each single enemy in this game. I'm not going to play it.
I found some really weird Chinese bootleg games. One of them's like for Diablo 2, and it's just the story of Diablo built on top of a Final Fantasy NES RPG.
Oh, is it like one of the ones that ended up being the like Mana series type stuff? Like, is it an action RPG or is it like?
No, it is a
turn-based.
It is turn-based.
Ah, okay.
Like I said, someone took the plot of Diablo 2, and this was China,
Oh,
and
that makes me very curious of what their interpretation of the meat of the story is. Because that's one of those games that you can completely ignore the story. You only have to talk to, like, Tyrael at some point, so you can go to Act 5. Like, I might be wrong, but, like...
no, you've got a hand in your quest.
Oh, yeah, I guess you have to talk to, like, Warrior and stuff. Okay, but you don't have to do
Yeah, no, there's
any of the quests. Like, you don't have to defeat, what's his name? That fallen angel guy to beat Diablo.
no, you know, you can skip that one. You can skip the Den of Evil. You can skip. No, you can't skip the Den of Evil. You have to do the Den of Evil. You can skip
Why do you have to do it?
because the one rogue won't let you past until you do.
Really?
Yeah. You
I
walk
might
up to her and she says, "Turn back," and you can't go any further. There's
Oh.
an invisible wall there.
Is there another one of those rogues somewhere? I feel like I've walked past her before. But I could be wrong. I might have just gotten close enough that enemies came over and like, hey, extra experience. You know, like... Of course, it's been so long since I've gotten to her without having beat the Den of Evil.
Yeah,
So,
no,
like,
you have to beat the Den of Evil first.
okay.
There are very few.
Like, required
There's
quests.
very few gates in Diablo 2.
Oh, I believe it. You're making me want to go and, like, experience that. Be like, no, you're not high enough level yet.
I want to say there's somewhere else in the game where they tell you, no, your ass back. Learn to sight.
I could see it being, like, needing that dagger to protect, like, the docks or something. Or is the Gibden an optional quest?
Gibden's an optional quest.
Okay.
Because all that does is give you, like, extra health. It's the one I'm thinking of.
No,
So
you're thinking of the Golden Bird. The Gibden's the one where you get the dagger to bring to Oramus to protect the wards on the dockside. And he gives you a rare ring, I think. It's a random rare ring.
That you may have to do that one.
Okay.
Cause
They like, don't open the Durance until we put the ward up.
yeah. But no, you're right. In Act 4, the only thing you have to do is smash the Soul Gem and kill Diablo.
You do have to smash the Soul Gem to get an ending? Okay. Like, it's one of those things that I only realize now, I don't think I've ever tried to beat Diablo without doing that. I'm always like, fuck you, Mephisto! Give me those big jewels.
Right.
Oh, that burns my ass so hard. Just them definitively showing at the end of 2. Boom! Smash this soul stone. Boom! Smash this soul stone. They're back to the abyss from which spawned them. No, they're fine. Turns out it was just a flesh wound. they're really. What was Arnold's name in that movie where he came out of a movie?
Oh, Last Action Hero?
Yeah, whatever his character's name was from that, everything's always a flesh wound or whatever. Yeah. I know it's not as good to joke about making it theme by remembering it. Something I always remember from that is, tar sticks to some people.
Need that for the next boss.
She's someone I definitely tend to grind in this game. I'm like, I get her powerful enough to be a character in her own right.
Well, before moving on, it is in your best interest to get Rydia to, or Rydea? Rydea?
I've heard so many pronunciations and I'm not consistent with it. Do you remember the thing I was showing you about how to use rods? How you go in and use it as an item?
I don't have that yet on her.
Oh, okay.
The one that I have...
Yeah, use that. It's like, it ignores range and everything, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I thought the ice one was the first one you could do that with. Okay.
I want to say they all do something. I know there's a couple rods in this you want to take off to make sure you can have them later, though.
Oh, you do.
Take off the bit generic gear from Kane so you could put it on, as a paladin on your way back to town.
Yep. Oh!
Rydia.
Okay, well, that's what we'll go with for this playthrough then, Tommy. My man Tommy hanging out on YouTube.
Like a lot of these old, you write them down, or only see them in written form names. Like, I've heard people call her Rydia.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't argue with that. I don't know. I'm bad at English.
I will say that I played the DS version where it says all of their names.
Mm-hmm.
And I will fight until my last breath that it is Yang, not Yang.
Mm.
I don't care what the officials I don't know what. I don't care. It is not Yang. Fuck you.
I mean, I feel that way about Tidus. I've been trying to correct myself in my own head about it, and I still feel bad.
And I will never call her Aerith. Ever. Yeah.
I mean, when I was doing 10 recently, and I need to finish that run of 10, but I kept being like Tidus. Tidus. I'm not trying to be that way about it, but I'm also trying to not push my just being wrong as being right necessarily, but it's still aggravating. Like, is his name not spelled how Tidus is spelled? I'm bad at, it's that kind of stuff. Like, is it spelled more like Tidus?
I could see how it would be pronounced Tidus, but...
Like, how do you... Is it differently spelled? That's an actual question.
No, it's T-I-D-I-E-S. That would be... I think that could be like the long E sound to replace the I.
It's usually a U, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, T-I-D-U-S is how it's supposed to be spelled.
Well, and I know in Japan they can be pretty precise about how they use English to write words that don't already exist. Kind of like a lot of the stuff in, okay, a bell bearing.
Yeah.
That's not an actual word.
No.
You know what it means. It's a clapper or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But and that's one of those things. Sometimes it works better, sometimes it doesn't, It's kind of like, why I was questioning the spelling of Kane's name. It's like, what are they going for? I'm curious. And it's not like I need to know, but it's just kind of like they had some idea. You know what I mean?
The way they spelled it, they were definitely not going for chicken tenders for sure.
Does she have white magic?
Yep.
Okay. What was the version? Was that the one with class changing where they took that away from him?
Yep.
Okay.
Tide. Yeah, I mean that's what I would have assumed too, Tommy.
Water is a very, very major theme of that game. Yeah. I mean, he's like the water polo champion. They're just like, what if water polo was badass? I'm not saying it's not a hard sport, but it doesn't look as cool as blitzball does.
It does not. It does not. Can I get the ruby ring here?
I can't remember. Ruby rings always stick out in my mind. I know there's somewhere you can buy them because they are something you can use in the place where I want to say they're the best one you can generally use against the Dark Elf King. And I want to say everybody can use them. I might be wrong about that.
Shit.
What'd you buy?
Something I can't fucking use because it's already equipped on him. Oh, hey, I got a spear. So worth it. Oh, okay, I was looking at clothes. Something like, there's like another thing there. Okay.
It is kind of a quirk of Final Fantasy games, often selling you stuff that's worse than anything anyone has.
Because fuck you, that's why.
Yeah. I mean, I remember, I still kind of feel a frustration with Final Fantasy Tactics for starting you out in the shops with the first two version of like a couple things, and I'm like, just sell me the first one at first. It feels better that way.
Damn. Or they're throwing ninja stars without ninja stars. No! I cannot have you missing right now. This is not okay, guys. This is not okay.
Would you say the hit rates are any different or anything like that, or you just get unlucky?
I'm just getting unlucky.
That is something you don't see a whole lot more anymore in games, is mischance. I remember watching, there was some game I was watching someone talking about, and they gave the Morrowind warning. That this is games like Morrowind. You're going to be attacking them, they're going to be attacking you, and it doesn't always hit even though it lands square on them. I'm like, you know, that used to just be normal, right? I'm not saying it's better or anything, but you don't have to talk about it like, it's strange and exotic. Because, you know, that's one of those systems, I'm not saying I'm 100% happy about it. I mean, you know, but I also understand how many games... I remember really understanding in Diablo 2, finally, at one point, just how much of a difference hit chance makes, like a good, a bad one, how easy a time they have hitting you. It's like, they're doing a lot of attacks to you, but if you're set up right, only like a percentage of those are actually ever striking you. If enemies are hitting you constantly, you don't have enough armor to be near them.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do this.
I mean, it is funny because if you took a game like Diablo 2 and made it kind of like Skyrim, where every swing is a hit, it would either have to be a much more brutal game or a much more gentle game. You know, think about how tough you would have to be at the start of Diablo 2 if every time you got hit, you got hit. Whereas, you know, Diablo 2 is an example of one of those games that the numbers start out like enemies having 1 or 2 hit points, doing 1 or 2 damage, and at the end of the game, it's like everything's got thousands of hit points, and you're like wham, 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 thousands of damage on them, and it's like...
Oh, and then you get to the, like, next level of difficulty, and shit starts having millions of hit
Oh,
points.
yeah.
And you're like, guys, I'm only doing 200 at a time.
Yeah. I do feel like... Now, I'm not saying this is a unique concept or complaint to me, but, like, I do feel like there needs to be more other kinds of difficulty raising. You know, like, And I know that one of the arguments against that is you're not experiencing the full game unless you're playing it at a hard enough difficulty setting. But, like, what if in Nightmare, instead of everything having, like, even relatively speaking, kind of ridiculous stats in some ways, I'm not saying they're that ridiculous, but, you know, it's more that they had more powers. Like let's say, oh, even normal, whatchamacallit, Fallen could throw daggers at you on Nightmare.
Hmm.
Or something like that. Like, I'm not saying that that would make them unbeatable, but think about how different that would make a pack of them. It wouldn't just be the shaman shooting at you. Any that were at a certain range, not closing with you, would start throwing shit at you. You know, and like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, not everything has to be Contra 4 and turn me into a man while I play it.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah.
What we got here? No, I don't care. I don't care. Tell me
John-
you're banned from the channel.
John's taking a page from second edition and choosing to disbelieve.
That's right. I refuse. I refuse. I will never call him Yang. Ever. Ever. Yes. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Because America is right.
I mean, there's gotta be something we're right about, right?
Well, it's certainly not all the other things that were in last place over.
I do feel like, do you feel like even these enemies are amped up in their difficulty? Because I feel like Rydia is getting beat up a little more than, like...
Not really.
Okay.
It's just, there's so much work you have to do at this point of the game.
Yeah, yeah.
What I think it is that her the experience is tweaked down, because the first time you go into battle with Rydia,
It's usually gained like
you,
2 levels.
you gain like 3 or 4
Yeah,
levels
yeah,
and
yeah.
shit, and then that just
I wouldn't have that so fresh in my mind if I hadn't literally seen you do that a month or 2 ago.
Yeah.
Like,
really. The Japanese version is Yo. Okay. What level is she? 8. 2 more to go.
what you trying to get? Just to level 10, or is there a power there? I can't remember.
I'm just trying to get to 10.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think there's any special thing for 10. I should have fucking used that. What I should have done and what I did do. 2 different things. I want to say the Sahagins have a very, 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 very minor chance of dropping silver apples.
Oh. Those were his max hit points, right?
Yep.
Is there a limit to how much you can use those?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, until you have max hit points.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I just remember when I originally came across them being like, don't know if I should use it or if it, I need to be really careful of who I use it on.
There's curves.
What does
Yeah.
Curse do to you in this one? Generally speaking, in Final Fantasy games that are after this, it doesn't let you use your limit breaks. I'm not saying that's all it ever does, but like,
I believe in this version, it's skip turns.
like there's a chance that you'll choose your action but just not do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the US2, it doesn't work. Being cursed does nothing. You have the ailment on you, it does nothing.
Piggy is the unique to this one status effect. Because I was thinking about how a lot of them have a unique status effect. I think what made me think of it is I was trying to think of other ones with curse, and I was thinking of Trouble in 9.
Mhm.
It's kind of like seizures or something like that, where it's damage over time on your turn, or maybe it's damage every time you hurt something. I don't remember what it is, but it's some kind of damage effect.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the only one it's in, but there might be more. So in the with some other stuff in the original version that didn't work, because I know these games tend to have spells or status effects that don't work, kind of like
There
how.
was tons of stuff that didn't work in this game.
Okay, like can you give me some examples? Like, 'cause
okay,
like
so
in one,
the doctor,
like half the spells don't work.
so the Dr. Luge fight,
Mhm.
he hits you with something called gas. Doesn't do anything.
I know that's one big difference I noticed when playing the PlayStation version is status effects worked both ways. Stuff like the Piggy Wand actually worked. Stuff like other things, and that is a big example of how different status effects working can be. Is his fight.
Again, the Luge fight, he just throws status effects at you, and they're supposed to like make you super weak, or take damage over time, or
Yeah.
turn make your damage heal instead. And in his fight, just none of that stuff works.
I do remember when I originally came across him, it being a really built-up fight, a really ominous fight that was like, wow, that was super fucking easy.
I will say that the second half of the Luge fight is significantly harder than the first half,
Oh yeah.
but
I mean, oh sorry, what?
but no, there's a lot of stuff in that fight that just doesn't work. There are some items that are supposed to apply status effects that don't. I want to say there's some arrows that don't do what they're supposed to do.
A fight that's a lot like that fight that's in the later game is in 7, when you actually fight Hojo on the gun.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that when you're immune to status effects?
Mm.
It's a very different fight.
As far as like a comprehensive list of things that just don't work,
How-
I'd have to get back to you on that
Well,
one.
let me ask you this: how much is it just status effects,
It's
essentially?
mostly status effect stuff.
Okay, so it's. Are there any positive status effects that don't work? Like, does haste work in this?
Haste works. There. I want to say there are some positive status effects that are supposed to be applied to you in certain fights that don't work.
Are we talking about situations like in Final Fantasy X in the fight past Vraska's final Aeon, how you always have re-raise on? The kind of special cases like that where, like, in this fight, everyone has haste or everyone has darkness or whatever.
Yeah, I'd have to get back to you on which fight it is, though. There are some fights where it's if you cast certain spells on yourself, or if you do, there's just some things that just broke as fuck. There's also a number of things that are broken in this game with like equipment.
Ah.
One of the weapons, I think it's the Defender? One of Cecil's weapons, when you equip it, and then you go to unequip it, it puts a status effect on Cecil that it never takes off.
Oh.
You have that effect on you for the rest of the game, and it's not as great as you might think that it is.
I remember coming across, I can't remember what it was, but I remember coming across something similar to that in some game at some point, and it seeming like it was a good thing, but it kept compounding to the point where it eventually became a bad thing. Like, I can't remember what it was.
Let's see if I can get Imp, maybe.
Yeah, that's something I was thinking. Maybe it's just because of their horns or whatever, but kind of the way they look, even though it's a very traditional goblin look. Why is it that you think they changed the names to imps in a lot of these old games? Because that was kind of consistent for a while. You know, that goblins were just imps. Kind of like how these were hags for a long time. You know, I know the idea is sea hags, but like, well, what?
I doubt this is it. But there may have been, like, copyright concerns.
Kind of like goblins and ghouls or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I doubt that's what it is.
I don't mean that game specifically, but like something else was using it, or...
Yeah.
It is funny how often, like... I mean, it's funny, because when you showed it to me, I was like, yes, that is literally just ripping it off, but it is kind of funny how sometimes there's games along the line... I guess kind of like when you were talking about that game that was ripping off Horizon, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I did kind of have to see it to see how badly it was copying it, but like... Sometimes with some premises or some ideas, it's like, okay, but when is it okay? You know, like...
I would say that that Tencent game, that is not looking legally distinct from.
No, it's the difference was mostly they were like, in our version, everyone is touch yourself hot. No, but it wasn't just dinosaur robots in the future and warriors fighting them. The look was so on point specific to it that like at first if you remember, you thought that one I showed you was a commercial for that.
Yeah. I don't want to say that I wouldn't be able to eventually identify these things, but the similarities in those two games, it was like Light of whatever it was called and Horizon,
yeah.
Like that is just...
Well, yeah, because stuff like, okay, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is a Diablo clone, but they kind of did their own homework.
Yes.
You know, like...
there is a lot of games that just, like, that their base parts, it's just Diablo.
Yep.
There's a lot of games that are out there that at their base parts, it's just Final Fantasy or Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest. That game... That is wholesale someone else's idea.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at, say, Enslaved, I mean, even that, you could sit there and make arguments for, this is a different IP, this is a different game, this is a different whatever. Yes, there's a lot of similarities, but I would never... I don't know that I would confuse... Poison, awesome. I don't know that I would confuse Enslaved with Horizon or vice versa.
Yeah.
It's just me. Alright. Rudy should now have 100 hit points.
Yep.
And should be able to cast more than, like, Thunder 3 times.
I'm gonna go rest and save. I forget Tello lets you rest for free here, doesn't it? Or is that later on in the dungeon?
It's a little later in the dungeon. But it's not too far in, you know?
Yeah. I don't know how many times, for some reason, I failed to find the sword in this cave and I'd come fucking back for it. Or maybe it was the shield. There's always ends up being a piece of equipment in here I have to go all the way back around if I can get, just for my completionist sake.
It's the fucking fish from Darius Twins.
You think, how much do you think all of that had to do with the rediscovery of the coelacanth?
Darius Twins? I don't know.
I just meant the benevolence of those ancient-looking fish in, video games around the 90s.
I mean, maybe. I I won't speak to what was on the minds of those developers.
Ah. What do you say?
Go back to Capo. What did I forget to do?
Have a reason to come over here? Don't you need to find Rosa or whatever?
Yep.
You know, it's funny because I forgot about that until you mentioned it. I always forget about that. I just always check every house. And I'm like, oh yeah, she's here. I thought that was 2 towns from now.
No. I'd like to know how Rosa got ahead of you, by the way.
Yeah. Maybe she fell out of that airship.
Yes.
I don't remember. Why is she beat up? Did they beat her up? Did monsters beat her up? Like,
No, she has desert fever.
Ah.
That's why you gotta go
Yeah,
get the
yeah.
sand ruby. I will say I'm starting to build up wealth, at least.
Yep. The way to build up wealth in the games like this is do a bunch of battles, not trying to gain wealth. Kind of like how if you're like, well, I'm tired of trying to grind money, or not grind money, trying to grind experience. I'm going to grind money until I get this. Suddenly you level up 2 times.
Dun, 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 dun. Sand pearl.
Is there a version where it's called the Desert Rose?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I know that there are later versions that have called it the Sand Pearl. I don't fucking know why you would have it be Ruby over Pearl over whatever. I guess Pearl makes more sense than Ruby.
Since it's being, like, made by a biological creature.
Yeah. Instead of just, like, a fucking mineral.
Yeah. Thinking about whatchamacallit, Antlion makes me think of the fight of part of Final Fantasy IX where you want to fight the Antlion, steal what you need to steal from them, go down, get treasure, and then come back and do a bunch of stuff in the right order.
Now that Tella will let me pass.
I actually forgot he would block your way. I think I may have come across that before technically, but I just...
No, I remember that as a kid. Just being like, but I got the kid, what's he want? Having to go all the way back and figure out, oh, I gotta talk to her. Yes. I'm trying to think of some more items that were just like, why is this in the fucking game? There was, let's say Tommy here, I want to say, found an item that in one of the dungeons is really fucking dangerous to use. It's like the blood sword, where you get health for the damage you deal, but in that cave where you find it, or the next one, there's a bunch of like undead and vampires, and hitting them, and it has the reverse to it, and you just fucking murder yourself really quick with it.
Yeah, no, there's a section like that in 6 that I learned the same harsh lesson.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, these piles of organs are undead, apparently. Who would have thunk it? I mean, if you remember, 6 has an additional layer to that kind of stuff. There's, in that, I'm not saying it's the only one like that. There's a couple other Final Fantasy games like that. I just can't think of what they are off the top of my head. But there's 2 kinds of instant death in 6.
Yeah.
The kind that, what's his name does? Odin / Raiden. And like you get a sword that does that, but most instant death stuff, if you're attacking undead with it and it hits them with the instant death, it technically kills them for a second and then brings them back at full hit points.
I mean, it does make a sense that you do it that way. It just sucks that it works that way.
It is one of those things that I played so much Final Fantasy, I tend to think that's going to be that way in other games. Like, I remember taking off my draining effects in Diablo 2, thinking that it would hurt me if I hit zombies with it. Or, like, in some games like that, just so some other, stuff's games, oh, it's undead, I have healing spells, I'll cast it on it. Heals it. Like, in Dragon Quest, they'll use healing spells on each other.
Yeah.
I feel like those are items you didn't really ever get to find in the American version. Like, the various bombs and stuff he uses in that, like, initial conflict with the monsters.
Yeah.
I remember being like, oh, that stuff seems cool. Never find it.
I found the Blitz once.
Ah. Something drop it, or did you find it in the chest?
Something dropped it. It was a random rare drop.
I remember the game presenting it in a way I was like, this is really going to be a part of this game.
Nope.
Yeah.
Suck it, nerd.
Silver Guillotine? Is that something that was more findable? I can't remember, does this one do the thing that 6 does, where like a wall like that, if you... I know this one, it's an exit, but like, you know how you can go like, kind of up against a wall and it not show you, sometimes they'll hide treasure boxes down there?
Yes, but you will see the treasure box.
Ah, okay. It would be like just the little top of it or something?
No, you'll see like the treasure box just out in the nothing.
Ah, okay. Ah, okay.
Weird to let me over here and it'd be nothing, but whatever, it's your game, not mine. I'd say fighting those things. This is...
What makes them bogus? Do they steal MP? What do they do?
Yeah, they steal MP. You know what's really bogus about this part? It's monster heavy. Like, the encounters are monster heavy.
Yeah.
And you only have 2 casters.
Yeah. I am curious though, after this battle, will you go look at what black magic Tella has?
I just
not
did.
Black magic, I meant white magic.
Oh. Didn't learn a spell.
I just remember him having a lot in the original one, but it just felt like he had a lot. Oh, does he have less in this than he did? Oh!
No.
I forget that there didn't used to be a designation. It was just your magic.
Yep. Well, okay. No. It was still split.
Oh, it was? Okay.
But in some versions, he joins the party with the 2nd tier of spells.
That's in the original, like, US version, right?
No. That's in the, like, PSP version. He joins the party with, like, Fire 2, Ice 3, or Fire 2, Ice 2, and, like, Lightning 2. And it's just like...
I thought he started...
Why?
We'll have to go back and... Okay, you're gonna have to show me to prove it that it's not in there. I'm not saying... I don't know that I don't believe, but I know that I've had him have, like, this wall of... Is it in the, like that in the PlayStation version?
It's later in the game.
Oh, yeah! I forgot! He gets...
Like, he just gets spell dumped.
Yeah,
after
okay.
Mount Ordeals. Tella learns no spells until that point.
Yeah. I forgot that there was a different. I forgot he remembers a bunch of shit he forgot.
And what's cool is that he can cast like tier 3 spells right now
Oh, like
with recall.
ah,
But recall wasn't in the US version.
okay.
So, you
Does
know,
recall cost anything? Does it still cost the cast of the spell?
yep.
Okay.
We're just gonna see what he does. Break. I just ate that MP.
Okay. You know, something I didn't know for a long time is that twin cast costs something.
Yep. Twin cast costs quite a bit. Although twin cast casts the most powerful spell in the game. Like Comet, I think, is more powerful than Meteo. I think.
Okay. Is that the only thing you can cast, or is there a variation? Like, is it level based? I can't remember.
It's random.
Oh, okay. What are the spells that they can cast?
There's two. There is Comet and
Is it flare? Or twin
It's-
flare or something like that?
it's Flare.
Okay.
Because I had to sit there and think about it. I was like, is it Flare? Because no, it's Flare because the other spell, like what's named Flare in later versions, is called Nuke.
Ah, okay.
So like the last two black spells you learn are Nuke and Meteo.
Okay.
Or Meteor.
Is nuke equivalent to flare?
Yeah.
Okay.
In later versions of the game, I want to say it's retranslated to Flare.
You know, it is interesting how there's some stuff that reoccurs in these games, but not always with the same rules.
Yeah.
Kind of like how flare is sometimes a fire spell.
Yep.
Sometimes, a lot of times it's non-elemental, but it's kind of like how a lot of the times, I don't know if it's as true in as many of them as it used to be, but how Bahamut is technically not as strong as other summon monsters, but he ignores defense entirely, so ends up doing more damage.
Yep.
Like, I remember when I looked at the stats long ago of him compared to the other summon monsters in 8, I was like, why is he so weak? And then I used him, it's like, ah, that's why. But I remember there being a couple of games where that property also was given to Flare. Where what it did was ignore magic defense. You know how you were talking about the problem with the Baldur's Gate games is they don't give you the tabletop experience and the literal mechanics of the game?
Yeah.
That's kind of the problem I have with new Final Fantasy games. Is
He starts with Cure 2.
oh, okay.
Sorry. Continue.
But and I'm not saying, you know, I'm not going to play on my I remember having this issue even with 7
Mhm.
of it not being basically a board game anymore.
Yeah.
You know, the absolute spaces, stuff like that. Like, I mean, I was fine with it in Chrono Trigger, but Chrono Trigger wasn't a Final Fantasy game. You know what I mean? Like, I was
No,
still
moving in a direction definitively moved you from one tile to another.
yeah. You know, which is fine when they're like, it's 5 steps down, and then some game like later game where you literally like what is 5 steps when there's this kind of movement? You know what I mean? Of course, it's funny because I was sweating doing it when I went through it the couple times I did recently, but like For some reason, it's something I used to not be able to do consistently at all. Was running clockwise around the room for Speakia.
Yeah. There was a couple of times where I was like, what in the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
It's in cottages. They changed the icon for cottages.
It kind of bothers me. It should look like a cottage.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, they were basically yurts originally, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I do like it. I do like the delineation when the games are like sleeping bag, tent, cottage.
Yeah.
Because I actually for a long time thought sleeping bags were from 6. Because in 6, what they are is a tent for 1.
Yeah.
But they are actually in 1.
Yep.
And they're very important items in that. Because they let you save. There's been a lot of times I've whipped out a sleeping bag right outside of a dungeon. You know, I remember, and was just me, like, thinking things were more connected and theory crafting when I was a kid. But you remember how in 6, early on, like, Ultros is like, I'm Octopus Royalty, right?
Yeah.
And he has a very similar appearance in some ways to the boss of this cave.
Yeah.
And so I was like, is he her descendant? Like, is that what they're referencing? But I just, at this point, I know that these games are so unconnected that I'm like, well, that theory's out the window. But, I mean...
Do you know how dangerously I've been living this game so far?
I mean, you've yet to save, right? I mean, I know you like to live dangerously.
Yes.
Remember, ladies, John doesn't wear his seatbelt.
The car gets very upset with me over that.
But he's too cool for school.
That's why I don't work there.
Yeah, they're like, no, you're too cool, get the fuck out.
That's what it was.
Sorry, I was just laughing at the actual allegations. Trust me, it's not as interesting as other people think. It's just, I think it's funny.
What was said to me that day I find both hilarious and insulting.
Yeah. I mean, you know there's something wrong when they're like, get the fuck out. Yeah, no, we'll give you a good recommendation.
Yeah. Which they did. I was fired from a job and they said they would give me a good recommendation, and technically they did. So I'm just really confused by that. It's like, if I'm such a good worker, why are you asking me to leave? Whatever, I have a better job now that that frees up my evenings so that I can hang out and do this more. So, if you weren't sick of me before, you will be soon.
An Osmos. When I originally played 6, I was really into that and Rasp. Because Rasp is the more offensive version. It doesn't heal your magic points, but it hurts theirs more by quite a bit.
Yeah.
Which is something I feel like isn't in enough of these games, but I was disappointed when I found out in Final Fantasy X, monsters only have MP so you can suck it from them. It does nothing to do with their casting.
Yep.
And I always prefer it, and it's not just so I can get those, haha, you ran out of MP, don't get me wrong, I love that. But I do prefer it when enemies have to follow the same rules you do. I mean, don't get me wrong, I get for various reasons why it's simpler not to do it that way, but I still prefer it. Are these guys supposed to be like mushroom men? What are they supposed to look like, do you think?
They're tiny mages.
I mean, did they think, was that just hair? Like,
Oh, on top of their head? Yeah, it's just hair. Oof.
what do these bomb fragments do? Are they a consumable item that does damage?
Hit all enemies with
Okay,
fire.
okay. They give it to you in a place full of water. That's okay.
I mean... Shh.
Can you do water damage in this?
Nope.
Okay, what are the elements in this one? Just the 3?
Just the 4.
So holy? Or is earth? We were talking, what's the 4th?
Earth.
Okay.
You know, I say that there might be more. No. There are more. So all of Cecil's early swords deal special elemental damage that heals undead.
So shadow damage, essentially?
Yeah.
Is
So there
there
probably is a
anything-
holy and unholy kind of damage type thing.
Is there any, anything weak to it? I know you don't get to have it long enough to really get a full taste of it, but...
No, if there is, I don't know.
I just, because I was thinking that, like, is it just basically a narrative thing? Like, his stuff's bad against the powers of darkness.
Yep.
Okay.
This entire cave is just full of shit that Cecil is just ill-equipped to deal with.
Yeah. Like, we gave you the one useful member. Here's a cave where he's not useful. Which I get why they do that kind of thing, but I feel like there's a little too much of that in video games. But I know it's to force people to learn things so that... Because it's funny, because if you don't do that, people will be like, they never taught me to learn to use magic users. You know what I mean?
Yeah. God, fighting those tiny mages wiped me out.
What does... Tella starts with the staff that does heal, right?
Yep, but it sucks.
Oh,
So I just tried to use it on Cecil while he was stunned, and it did fucking all.
Okay, so does the staff version only cure poison?
Baby.
That might be why I confused it for a long time. I could see that being true.
I'll tell you this, too. They have upped the encounter rates in this game.
Yeah. You know, I hadn't really thought about it, but now that you mentioned it, I can kind of tell because the battles can be brutal in the original game, but it's one of the ones with more lenient distance before you get battles. And
So
if
I
you
don't-
don't feel that way, try to get into battles on purpose to grind Edward in his cave.
Although that could just be the encounter rates of the Japanese version.
Yeah, I can see that being true.
Because the Japanese version was like, I don't want to say it was like fuck you mode or anything. Because the Japanese version is actually... The difficulty is actually easier than the US version.
In what parts?
The
Like the whole game? Or
whole game.
is it just because they took all those powers away so stuff doesn't have to rely on you having those powers for its difficulty?
Yep.
Okay.
Some enemies got, like... Some enemies got boosted in the US version, and some enemies got nerfed.
Okay. Like, I know that there's some enemies, like, aren't those red giant guys more dangerous as far as damage in the American version, but more dangerous in other ways in the Japanese version? I might be wrong. I might be thinking of another.
Possibly.
So I feel like there's some enemies that used to be more nuanced that they were like pure damage. Are there two things down this way? Yes, there are. Can you go any further down, or is that all the further you go that way?
That is it.
Okay. Is there another place to rest?
Outside.
Okay. So they have no magic points. Eesh.
Like I said,
yes,
I fought those tiny mages, and
Yeah.
all they did was osmose both of them to death.
Oh, okay. You got to come out here, so there is a chance to save. I forgot you go into a different cave for the last bit of it. There's a lot about this game that, like, this screen right here, this little area is very much in my mind, but I don't tend to think of it in the context of such an early dungeon.
Do you know what sucks about the very next screen?
But
It's a point of no return.
as soon as you walk in there,
As soon as you walk in there.
for some reason I thought you had to. I was.
Well, you have to walk down the plank,
Uh-huh.
but as soon as you walk
Oh
down
yeah,
the
yeah,
plank,
yeah. You have to have the hovercraft to get back over here. Yeah.
yep,
Yeah. Like, I was actually meaning to ask you about that. Is how far in did you have to go before it was a point of no return? Because like, that is something I definitely remember about. Well, like whenever I get here, I'm always like, oh yeah, that's why they did that. Yeah, he doesn't even like let you look around up there or anything. He's just like, down we go.
I feel like the sound effects are different, but that could just be my memory.
I wonder if they truncated some of them, made them a little shorter, because that's what it sounded like to me there. But I don't know this game like you do. You know, I'm not going to pretend to like really know this game, but you know, like. But I feel like it's kind of like the intro where they're like, nah, no lingering. So I thought that was a little extreme, but I understand why they did it.
I'll just say this. Previous entries encouraged exploration. This one discouraged it. And this was the first one on a next generation console.
But I know what you mean about it discouraging it, because it's on a lot of levels. I think that's why I didn't explore these caves as well as I should have early on, or some other parts of the game. Like, as much as there's to get in it, the cave with the one guy, the antlion, think about how unexploration friendly that cave is. And it's a teeny ass cave. You know, in 5, I know you don't like 5, but in that one, the ability, you know how in this one there's like the passages in darkness that you can see?
Yeah.
Seeing those is an ability. I think it's a thief ability? I think that's also where the run button is. Which I want to say in the PlayStation version lets you super run, like with the one shoes or whatever.
Nope.
What do they do? Same shit?
They take no damage.
Ah, okay. So it's kind of a war of attrition type thing?
Yeah. It's,
Okay, let me ask you
can,
this.
they only can be hurt with magic. And
Well, are they the fire ones? Like, are the red ones hurt by ice, or are they hurt by fire in this? Or is it the third type where they're hurt by lightning?
I'm not sure. All
Okay.
I know is that if I were to attack them with like Cecil or Rydia or anyone just like normal attacks, it's just 1 point of damage. And this whole dungeon kind of feels is just that you're given 2 magic users and about 200 NP apiece between the two of them to get through not a long dungeon, but a dungeon made long with its encounter table.
It does make it feel like 90 is not enough.
Yeah.
On Tella, you know, like. Oh, it's not Mama, it's Bam.
So it's short for Octomammoth.
Ah. So it's giant octopus from the Monsters Manual. Even though this looks like a giant squid. I feel
But
like your lightning should be
damn.
doing more. Or see, you just get Cecil that powerful already.
I don't know what to say to that there.
You know that what that makes me think of? There was this guy I knew when I lived in Florida, and he had finally got to the end of Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
And like Ultimecia or Ultimecia or however you pronounce her name was kicking his ass. And he was literally about to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Gilgamesh shows up. Excalibur. 1 damage. She dies.
Nice.
Yeah.
So here pretty soon. Yeah. Should start getting more aggressive soon.
Yeah, this is one of the early examples of a Final Fantasy boss that the Lord's hit points gets. It not only gets faster, but like a lot more aggressive. Like I didn't realize just how much of a thing that was. I eventually did, but for a while I didn't realize. Like, because you don't always feel that way when you're in a healing damage cycle, and then suddenly it's like, why is my healing cycle just not working? But it's because they're amping it up, and you probably only need to hit them like 1 or 2 more times.
Yeah, but you're just so stuck healing that
Yeah.
you just can't get it out. And then you have to sit there and decide, well, I'm running out of resources. I've got to do something now.
You have Ketchy run over there and hit it, it's like dead.
We're going to try Recall Thunder. Aw, man. Well, whatever. It was about dead anyway.
You know, it's funny. I think that boss is kind of why I tend to over-prepare in this part, because I have gotten here before, just not tough enough.
Same. Same. Everyone's favorite scene. Cecil may already have his second attack. That's probably why he's hitting so damn hard.
Oh yeah. We got this. This was the last one where that was a thing, right?
This was the first one that didn't tell you how many hits you actually had.
Well, but I meant this was the last one where number of hits was a thing, and like a basic attack. Like I want to say in 6 that there are ways to get more attacks, like the gingering and the offering, but like it's not number of attacks like this or 1. Like 2's like that too. That's an important part of like gaining power and stuff. Like, and it's like number of hits. Like you said, this one doesn't tell you. Going back to it after playing the first one, it made a lot more sense. And I know it tells you in the like times thing. That's how it tells you.
Ah, no, I have 3 attacks.
Okay, yeah. I bet he started with 2.
Probably. She has 1. I bet he has 1.
Yeah. That's why in Final Fantasy 1 or in this one, just because someone has a stronger weapon doesn't mean they hit for more damage.
Man. I'm gonna have to do something with this stuff.
You have some carrots.
Thinking of selling it.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there's any secrets going up.
There's a reason to come back here, though, right? Isn't there like a place over on the right when you come in or something like that you can get down to?
That's Eblon.
Ah, okay. Maybe it's just that I always spend way too long searching for secrets here.
Come on, leave the Spoony Bard in.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Best line. Man, Tella just flies off the handle.
Yeah.
He does it here with Edward. He does it later with Golbez.
She's just angry at the younger generation. I don't remember, is Golbez also a Dark Knight? Or is he just like X-Death, but not X-Death? Because he's also kind of a sorcerer and stuff, isn't he? Like, he's kind of portrayed as like if Skeletor was a big guy in armor, right?
Yeah.
And I don't just mean, a mustache twirling villain. Don't get me wrong, he twirls his mustache quite a lot, but like, I meant more, he just like generically powerful, mostly magical. Here's a question for you. A lot of exterior media in this downplays how tough the characters are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't see Cloud getting stomped by huge dinosaur tanks and being like, well, that hurt.
No.
How would you...
I just want to point out, you just said that as a elderly man slapped Cecil right out of the way.
Oh. But, like, you remember when you reduced Golbez down to a hand? How would they even handle that? Yeah, no, because, I mean, in this, I that's part of the reason I take some of the stuff, like how tough Cloud is, kind of literally. I mean, narratively, he and two of his friends stand up to Proud Claude and beat it to death.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but, and with Golbez, I see him as literally coming back from just being a bit of his body crawling around. They can still cast spells and talk for some reason.
Yeah. I'm disappointed in Golbez as a villain.
Is it because it's just like, oh, magic bullshit gun? Yeah, I guess I wasn't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is it. That is it for sure. I don't really feel like you have time. The story's not given enough time to reflect on that a lot.
Is it because do you think you'd sit better with it if in his place narratively it was Zemus? And then, like, I'm not saying he wouldn't... basically, let's say Golbez instead of Cain.
Mm-hmm.
And Zemus, not... I know he becomes Zeramus, but Zemus is the one in, like, the castle and stuff, be like, yes, the fiends, do this and do that. I'm the one, warping reality. Or it's like...
Or if there was at least more allusions to his existence than it just thrown at you at the end by Fusuya.
So is it really come down to just how lazy Zemus is? Because if he's that powerful, but he delegates on that level.
Yep.
Because he's like, I'm so powerful, I control Golbez, and he's that powerful in his own right. And it's like, why do you need him?
Because reasons, bitch. Let's see here. Edward should have salve.
they really do like having a twist going on in these games, though, at the end, don't they? I mean,
and whatever, that's cool. It's all very Star Wars, honestly.
well, let me ask you this. Is that something that makes 7 different? Is that by the time you get to the end of the game, and you're down there, like, near Cage Tully with Sephiroth pushing everyone away and back, you're kind of past the point of all the twists? Because, like, even in 1, at the end, there turns out to be a twist, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean...
I'm not saying there aren't twists all the way through 7. It's just more like, is that something that makes it narratively different?
No, there's no, like, last-minute rug pull on you with 7.
Yeah.
It's in here. Well, okay. If you want to have, like, a mysterious, you know, villain in the background that's controlling everything, cool, I'm there. You know what I mean? I'm super in. But you need to do better to establish that.
You know what I think a game that did better with that, even though he didn't end up being the last villain anyway, and it did one of the most extreme, like, and here's a villain out of nowhere, is 9. And what I'm talking about is Garland. Because he is the mastermind behind everything. He is Zemus.
Yeah.
You know. And I think it alluded to him all the way through the game well enough. And his first appearance, which in and of itself is like, what's the deal with this? Is this an allusion to something? You know, what's going on here? You know, when he's inside the Invincible being like, all right, that's a little too much there, Kuja. But it's like, not only does that scene kind of feel rug pullish, but it also, everything's been leading up to this. And then everything that comes after it makes sense back to having seen him be there. I mean, don't get me wrong. I almost want to call her Necrophobe, because she feels like it's just Necrophobe as a boss. But what is it? Necron?
Oh, okay.
Necron is one of the most... What the fuck is this? Last bosses. It's like, they could have just made Kuja the last boss. And you would have been narratively satisfied, fight satisfied, wouldn't you? Like...
Well,
I know that you have to fight a concept beyond the edge of reality at the end of a Final Fantasy game. Don't get me wrong.
I was going to say, no. Teenagers must band together to kill God.
I mean, I do like in that one how God has been like, I've been sitting around listening to Kuja's podcasts, and he really has a point. Because remember, Necron waits for him to end in what Necron considers to be death, and is like, well, point proven.
Oh, Echo Herb.
Because I'm not necessarily complaining about Necron, but it's just really funny to me how, like, out of literally nowhere, you can say left field, left field somewhere. No, Necron's out of fucking nowhere.
That's almost how 16 was, if you remember. Like, you're sitting there, Game of Throning it up, and then...
Okay, the fact that you fought Ultima is one of the early bosses, and it wasn't even Ultima, it was one of the other beings that had split off from Ultima. What were they called? Tiamat? Or no, what was it called? Typhon.
Ah.
Remember when you fought Typhon?
Yeah.
Now, you're not wrong, but I feel like Typhon was so much more than we got built up to Necron.
Yeah.
I'm just...
No, okay, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm just saying that, like, Final Fantasy 16 did not need Ultima.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It could have just been a... It could have basically been the same mechanics and everything, but just Clive basically winning the Game of Thrones. I mean, hey, it's funny because you could have literally had to beat all of those guys, take all of their powers, and do the Jon Snow thing of like, oh, I'm just leaving.
Well, honestly, would have been great is if Clive wins the Game of Thrones, but still some asshole takes over, and all of your effort was for nothing.
Well, I mean, I'd argue with that, but considering the game's logic of who it is and isn't oppressed, yes, that's probably how it would play out. Some guy would be like, no, I'm more of a descendant to the Emperor than you, and Clive would be like, he's right. There's nothing I can do. And it would be Joffrey.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like, no, Ultima, yeah. Instead of having the Ultima twist with the kid, he would just be on the throne afterwards.
Yeah. No, the kid from that one kingdom where Dion's from, he would end up being king.
Yeah, that was the Emperor's son.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hell, you can do even twist the knife deeper by having Dion as he's dying. He's like, take care of the prince. He's like, I'll do it for you, man. I do feel like some characters like Dion were like shown a lot, but still underutilized somehow. Like, I know that might sound like I'm talking against what I'm saying, but like, do you know what I mean?
Dion is presented as a much more important character, and he is on the screen very little.
Well, and all the screen time is like, kind of like, no, it's building up something important, man. No, we'll tell you about it later. No, tell me. Because it's like, no, he's a later chapter character. You'll get to that. And then you just kind of defeat him, and it's like, well, I'm still around.
Here's my name.
Yep.
Oh, man. Nah, I like 16, but fuck you, game. Why did it have to be Clive kills God at the end of the game? Why Final Fantasy? Why? Oh, God, I gotta level him up in here. Fuck!
I mean, you could argue essentially that the difference between Ultima and Alduin is that Ultima explains why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because part of the reason I bring that up is neither of them are technically destroying reality, just this world.
Damn it. So, fun fact.
What happened there? Like, I was looking away, but I saw you go, potion, nothing happened, run away.
Edward does not gain experience while he's hiding.
Ah, yeah, no, I know. No, I have ground him up higher level than he had any right to be. No, I've had, okay, Edward doesn't suck if he's high enough level.
Song, Salve, and his harp are pretty awesome early game status effect stuff to throw out in combat.
Well, even his stats are better than they seem. Because think about it right now. Sure, he has 71 hit points. He's only level 6.
So, yeah, he is level 6 right now. Because he did level up once. I will say that at times Edward comes across more as a punishment
Yeah.
than anything else.
Well, you know, it's funny because I have before done it where I just didn't worry about it. Because in the long run, he doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can't lose him narratively. And you don't need him for the upcoming fight. I know that if you manage the way it... I don't remember exactly how the sand... Or the... what is it called?
The Sand Pearl.
No, the boss that has it.
Oh, Antlion.
Antlion. I know that like I don't remember exactly how it works, but I know there's a way to control how it reacts to you, and that a lot of its dangerous stuff is reaction abilities.
Hmm.
I know that just like going in and wailing on it can be dangerous if I remember. I mean, if you're powerful enough, it doesn't matter, but like. They can actually turn you to stone, and the chicks can actually put like confuse on you, right?
Mm-hmm. I think they are weak to cold. Yeah. Really wish I got more experience for this shit.
You know, it's funny how like a lot of the Final Fantasy games will have something in them that's just different.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about when it comes to basilisks, even though they don't tend to always look like chameleons specifically, they tend to look like lizards. Just straight up, just large lizards with those huge crazy eyes, and they actually tend to have that kind of impish face or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But in 7, if you remember, they look like small wingless dragons. They're kind of a larger enemy.
Oh, yeah. And they shoot, like, the ray at you, don't
Yep.
they?
But yeah, it may be gradual petrify, but they open with that shit. It gets really bad when they're backed up by frogs.
Eye potion. I could hit them both.
What does it take to wake up in this? Any damage, or is this one of the ones where spells do not wake you up?
Spells do not wake you up.
Cool. Hey, Toad. More important for healing yourself from it.
I was gonna say, there is so much shit in this game that is either immune to it or just doesn't fucking happen.
Is this one of the ones where there are toads you can turn into, like if you cast it on them, they'll become like a dragon or something?
I think so. I think that does happen.
The deal with Piggy, if I remember, is something loses all of its abilities but keeps its stats, right? Like if it sometimes doesn't that make some creatures more physically dangerous because they wouldn't even be hitting you with physical attacks, but now that they're a pig, that's all they got, and it turns out they have really good strength.
No. So, you are de-equipped. And from that point forward, it's like you have no equipment and no abilities.
It's the same for monsters, though, right? But they don't have equipment.
Yeah. I'm not aware of anything that becomes more dangerous because you turned it into a pig. But pig is something that I'd not messed with a whole lot because, again, 9 out of 10 times, it doesn't work.
I'm curious how well it'll work in this version. You should mess around with it when you get the staff that lets you do it. Because you can use that from the menu, right? Or does someone have to have it equipped? But, like, because I think I remember using it on, like, those dark trees on the way over to the Black Chocobo or something like that.
Yeah.
I was only using it because I was like, it actually works in this version. I was just using it on everything.
Damn. Edward now has 21 attack. Cecil has 27.
Yeah. I assume he doesn't have as high of a times, but yeah, that's what I was talking about with that stuff.
Yo!
So it should work in this version.
That just changed the game. I forgot about this. Emergency exit, cool.
I guess that's something you don't. I'm not saying it's never in games, but you don't tend to really see anymore. Is a consumable item that's like basically the escape rope from Pokemon.
Mm.
You know, that is something that like some of the RPG Maker games I've been messing with let you use, but. Let me see, think of one of the ones I was messing with. I found out it looks better if you make escape battle automatically a skill than use an item, because there's an item bomb, right, that you can use in the game.
Yeah.
But when you use it, all the player does is raises it above their head and it has the effect. So instead of like creating an explosion or smoke around you or something, when I set up a smoke bomb to run away from combat, they raised it above their head. Then everyone ran away. I'm unhealthy. I always have to check around the sides. I know there's nothing there.
Why can't things go the way they're supposed to? I will say the plot to this is exhausting.
Evil.
I will say that the plot to this game is exhausting.
Yeah.
Because everything just goes wrong for like 80% of the game.
Yeah. That's because only the bad guys know the lore. Nobody else knows what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't Golbez eventually like, you know what we need to do? Make airships that can fly underground and bomb underground.
Yeah.
So what does Solve do?
Heals everybody.
Ah,
It's cure one on everyone.
okay. Wow, it's pretty strong. I wonder if it's literally stronger than Cure 1, or it's Cure 1 undivided, but on everybody.
I want to say in the DS version, it's item all, is what it amounts to. So you could take like an item from your inventory with salve, and it hits everyone in the party.
Okay. There's an ability like that in 9. I think it's called Angel Snack. It's a blue magic, and what it does is it takes... I don't know if it's always 4 if you have less people in your party, but like, why would you? Or maybe it's 3, or I don't... How many people can you have in 9? Can you have 4 people in your party? It is, right? You have like 8 characters and you can have half of them in your party.
It's at least 3.
Okay, well, it takes however many characters there are in the party, that many, whatchamacallit, remedies, and just uses them on everybody.
Yeah.
Does this actually consume items?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't think it does. No. In this version, it does not. There are versions where it does.
So, would it do what I was saying and, like, you have 3 characters, would it use 3 potions, or would it use expend
It would
one?
use just one.
Oh, okay.
But
That could make...
only Edward can do it, and he's
Yeah.
in your party for such a short time.
Yeah.
You never get access to the sorts of things, you know, that
Well,
would be handy with.
I mean, like, what's the farthest boss? This is the only boss you fight with him, right?
No.
Do you fight the Fiend with him?
Nope. You fight the bomb.
Oh, yeah.
And however much you want to consider the gauntlet in Fabula a boss.
You have him for that?
Yeah.
Okay. It could be handy for that for the purposes of throwing, like, a potion on somebody, but, like, well, I was thinking about how you got that high potion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you could fight some stronger bosses with them, then I suppose, yeah. But, like, because I know that it's easy for people to think of something like, use 1 elixir as a mega elixir.
Yeah. That is, in theory, that is something you'd be able to do.
But yeah, I mean, of course you wouldn't be able to, because like you said, you have them for so little time.
Yeah.
I have to say that was something that frustrated me about this one, is it couldn't decide, like, who my party was. Like, here's a million characters. No, you're only using these. I was have to say I was disappointed when it never hit a point like 6, and I didn't realize 6 was the first one to do this. What would let you choose your party out of the people you had built up. You know, I like 2 is a lot like this one, and it's almost more of a problem in that one ultimately because the way stat leveling works when they finally give you your permanent 4th member, and it's like, no, we didn't grind him at all the way you would have ground him. But because you know, like in that one, there's always some, like, you have the 3 characters you always have, and then like the whatever the current rotating member is. Like, I guess whatchamacallit, Mystic Quest does that really hard too. I remember finding it frustrating when I first went through that. Of course, I remember also being worried, no, I didn't take stuff off the thief guy when he left. And it's like, that's not a thing.
This is one of the most frustrating fights in the whole game.
Just because you have to wait, or because of the RNG that's possible?
Because of the RNG. You have to hit him twice. And Edward misses a lot.
Hmm.
You can die during this fight
Yeah.
and get a game over.
Does row matter for his hit chance?
Huh?
Does row matter for his hit chance? I know you have everyone in the front row right now, but like...
No, that doesn't matter. Position matters.
Like, if he's in the first position, does he have a higher chance of hitting?
Yep, if he's in the middle, he will hit, I want to say, every time.
Okay. Is it the this light thing, or how, like, hit chance works?
That's just how the middle works.
Huh. Makes me wonder how often does Cecil actually have an unusually high chance to hit?
Yep.
Okay, because I tend to think of him, if I remember, he's kind of like Squall, where he's like, no, I'm the guy who's going to hit. I mean, you know Squall has, like, the max, right?
Yep. Epilepsy warning.
Wow.
I can't tell if that's a hat on Rosa or her hair.
Ah,
I think it's her hair, but still. Seriously, this group is desperate for like another like melee hitter.
uh,
I wonder, I gotta wonder why they stacked so many mages throughout the game.
hmm.
Because once you get to Mysidia,
Mhm.
which is after the next bit, you still have more mages than melee hitters
I
in
want
the
to say
group.
that ends up being true in your Ultimate Party too, right?
No, you got Kane, you got Cecil, and you've got Edge.
Okay, yeah.
Now Edge can't take a hit very well, but he can dish it out.
I think I'm just thinking of the part where you have Fushia instead of Kane.
Yeah.
It's like, no, even more. I remember there being a point where I had to figure out a good, where I wanted them to be two fighters party more times in this than the other way around.
Yeah.
No, you're right. They front load you with a lot of magic users in this.
Oh, I gotta hit him 3 times. Okay.
Cool.
Damn. I really wanted another one out of that. We're gonna go to Mount Hobbs where we're gonna make a man out of Edward.
Ah. Yes, that's another place where there's enough undead to need to not rely on Cecil, right?
Yeah.
You feel like you started making better money than the beginning?
Yeah.
Do you think it just was they didn't let you grind out money right there?
Well, and I did cheat a little bit with the
Oh yeah, I forgot you made a little bit of early money that way. How much would you say you made that way?
probably a little over 1,000. I mean, it's not like I did a lot, but
No. I just noticed since then a few times you've gone to town and bought stuffs in stacks of 10.
that strange old man is not there anymore. I feel like there was something over here.
Is it like a dancer or something?
No, because the dancer is outside. Because this is the dancer here,
Oh, okay.
which
Like, that's right. We made a leg graphic just for this bit.
yep.
There's a lot of that in Final Fantasy games, though, isn't there? Kind of like how in, like, Tactics, there's, like, that one scene where a monk gives Cloud that, like, kind of, he leans sideways and looks at him, and it's like, that's the only time that graphic is used in the entire fucking game.
Mm.
What would you say overall in the world of fantasy fiction that martial artist became monk?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Because we grew up on Robin Hood.
Yeah.
That is not a monk.
Yeah. Well, okay. And also, actual Shaolin monks, they're not out in the world kicking ass. They're training up on monasteries in the mountains way the fuck away from everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be like, that's not a statement against them at all. It's just more like, what is this even supposed to represent?
Yeah.
And it's not like it comes... I'm not saying there's no monks in old kung fu movies. Most of the guys in those kung fu movies aren't, though. They're just like some guy from a village, or like a noble soldier, or something like that, you know what I mean? Like, or just a martial artist. Well, some of those movies, everyone's wizards. Just martial arts are a part of wizardry. There's this movie, I wish I could remember what it was called. That's like that. It's one of those kung fu movies, but it's also a wizard movie. And everyone's like, all the wizards are also like martial arts experts. It's a weird movie.
I have to double check this, but I'm pretty sure that in one of my playthroughs I was using like Game Genie codes on this game to just juice the experience gain. Rydia can learn Fire 2 and Fire 3, but this is the only way she'll learn Fire 1.
Ah!
I'm pretty sure of that.
Kind of makes me think of in Final Fantasy VII that if you kill enough enemies fast enough and efficiently enough and early enough, yeah, you can have their like first, third level limit break, but you don't have their second 2 or 1.
One of my playthroughs of Final Fantasy VII, I had Cloud's level 1, level 2, and level 3 limit breaks, but I didn't have the second one for each level.
Did you hit the problem of needing to go back when you had Omni Slash?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't remember who I had that problem with. It wasn't Cloud. It was somebody else, but I had to go back and do that. Maybe it was Yuffie?
I think I had that problem with Barret and Red 13 in the playthrough as well.
Okay. And, it's an understandable problem to have, especially if you're doing a lot of early grinding. And also, especially if you're not trying to raise your limit breaks all the time and really trying to use them. So I have to say, something that the ease of access to magic lets you do in that is just save your limit breaks. Start casting fire on everything.
That's a decent experience gain there.
So what level are you trying to get him to? You said you're going to make him a man.
He needs to be at least 12, and he's like 8 now.
Is that to be able to stand up to the fight he's going to be in?
Yep. Because this fucking running off bullshit is not going to stand with me. If I do this just right, I won't have to use literally any resources to grind this out.
Why not?
Because she has prey and he has salve.
Oh yeah.
And that's all the damage they do to me.
Ooh, I forgot about that. But yeah, you know, it's funny because in these earlier games, they presented some of this stuff in a more straightforward manner. But even in something like 10, in some grinding spots, you can go infinite using prey. Although, you know how there's the status effect of, like, you do all 999s with your stuff in Final Fantasy X?
Mm-hmm.
You know that affects prey also?
Really?
Yeah, so that's free, instant, heal everybody.
Wow. There's a lot in 10 I don't know because I just don't play it because I don't like
No, I get that. I just, some of the tech, I guess, that's a game where, especially because of the way it presents the stuff early on, and a lot of the stuff you don't need to utilize, it's easy to not realize how much tech there is in that game, especially later on. Like, something I've been doing more in this recent run I did than a lot of other runs is use. Like, go gather chocobo feathers and be like, haste. Like that, I had use in the fight against the guys from Kamari's village.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing stuff like putting shell on them and haste, just, you know, using use. Because I tend to always get it on Yuna. I get that in steel with her also because she goes past that part. But in more recent times I've been trying to utilize it more with Kamari. You know, this isn't something I streamed, and maybe I will stream running through the game this way at some point, but I might think it through a little better. But at one point, I ran through Final Fantasy X. I didn't get all the way to the end. I just kind of stopped playing because what I was using, the thing I was using, stopped kind of working. But and what I was doing was, I put, you know, all the like spheres you get to put on the board that you can get relatively early in the game. I was put them all in Kamari's area, and what I had everyone do was go a little way into their area, and then back into Kamari's area, go all the way through that, and as far into everyone else's area as they had already gone before they went back to their stuff. But eventually I hit a point in the game where my characters were technically powerful, but none of them were focused enough to do their jobs. Like Tidus couldn't hit the kind of guys he's supposed to hit. Waka couldn't hit the guys he's supposed to hit. Stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like Auron had better overall stats than he usually does. He just didn't hit hard enough.
Yeah.
I think where I started having problems was, I want to say around Macrolania Woods, and I don't remember if I got past that part. I'm pretty sure I beat Spheromoy. But I don't remember if I hit past that part and I just couldn't deal with it, or I was like, I think I didn't get past that part because I was still trying to grind more because I knew they were about to split my party up really hardcore. You know, when you they take Yuna away from you for a while. And I wanted to get over some hurdles before I went to even stronger monsters. You know, one interesting thing about that one is, if you run straight through it, if you don't sit and grind anywhere, there's a pretty fast escalation of how strong monsters are. Yeah, I think it's because it's the whole road problem. Like you're talking about, it's just a hallway.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no real, getting around anything or figuring a place out. It's just, I'm walking through here. And when you can do that, and you just walk through it, the next area, you know, all of a sudden, wow, I need to go up 5 to 10 levels to be able to deal with this shit.
The mechanics of 10 I like. Gameplay I like. It's a hallway, and it's It's not that good of a story.
Ah. I'm curious what makes you say that. I'm not saying it's a good story, but as you know, I don't play these games for their story. I mean, there's a few of these games that I hold my tongue on because I basically feel the same about all of them in story quality. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying there's not difference, and I know some have better stories than others, but like, you know.
It's just a game that tries to overcomplicate its world building.
Ah. It does do a lot of... No, there's a lot more to that. You gonna explain that? Why? You know what I mean?
There's just...
Like, okay, aside from the fact that they used machines and there was a war, what do you know about ancient civilization in Final Fantasy X?
nothing.
Yeah.
Not a fucking thing other than, Bakken is bad. Alright, fair enough, I guess. But no, it can't decide what story it's telling.
Ah. Well, or
With-
which of its stories are even important?
Yeah, and okay, so Titus, whatever, is just trying to get back to his Xanarkin. It's a Wizard of Oz story. I can get behind that. The motivation is simple. He's just Dorothy trying to fucking get home.
Well, okay.
But then you find out home didn't ever fucking exist.
Well, and part of the narrative rug pull of that, I guess not narrative, as in like, part of the storytelling rug pull problem with that is how much he's, up to that point, he structured everything around I'm here temporarily.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's like, I'm here to die for this world.
Yeah. And there's just...
I mean, you know, I know he's a great guy, but it is kind of an extreme escalation between, man, get me the fuck out of here. Now I'm willing to be the chosen one and die for the universe. Yeah, that's cool. This reality that my reality is, like, relative to and housed inside, but totally separate from. And also, like, continuous with.
I am the aspect of an idea of a dream or something. I don't know. It's so poorly explained. It's so poorly executed. And there's going to be its defenders out there. And if you love Final Fantasy X, good luck. God bless. I don't care. I don't like it. The story is just terrible. Like, there's so much going on in the world. And it tries to add a layer to all of it that is just absolutely, positively unfucking necessary.
No, do you know what Tidus is? It's sillier than you might think. When Yu Yevon was like, nah, fuck them, we're going nuclear, right?
Yeah.
Basically, now not all of them are this. Some of them are making him. But he took a lot of the population that was still alive, turned them into faith to create an imaginary version of Xanarkin so it would still exist. Tidus isn't a reflection of someone necessarily who existed in Xanarkin back in. He's the idea of the people dreaming up his existence of what someone who lived there might be.
That is so stupid.
Yeah. I told you in the books he eventually gets assassinated with an exploding blitzball, right?
Yeah, he is the dream of an idea. What the fuck? You could have just said that there is this... You could have gone with literally any other explanation.
Okay,
and you went
think
with
of how
fucking
simple it
that.
would be if he was a ghost. If he was just one of the people who died in Xanarkin, but...
Or if you just got pulled through time.
Oh, yeah. No, if what he thought was going on, that still would have been complicated enough. Because even if it was literally time, there would be implications in him affecting the world. It could be a closed loop. It could be like, there is no your Xanarkin to return to. Things turned out differently because you killed Sin.
Yeah.
You know, like, or you know, a million things, but no, it's as silly and as it can be. Well, no, it's not. I played Kingdom Hearts.
I dislike Final Fantasy X. If you want to torture me, if you want to know, if you just want to hear me squeal like a pig in pain on this channel, 50 subs and I will play Kingdom Hearts for the first time that I've avoided my whole life because fuck Nomura. Fuck that guy. And fuck the director of that game too. 50 subs.
I hope it's so bad so you see the present. Because see, you have this idea of how the lore is presented to you. You have no fucking idea, man.
You're gonna hate it so much. Oh my god.
I mean, I like those games, but like I said, I don't play these games for their story. I can understand your story objections to Kingdom Hearts and all that stuff, but it's just so fun to literally play that I'm like, yeah, I don't care. He could be like a teddy bear mascot character, and this would be fun. That could be a Care Bears game, but I'd be like, oh, I love the gameplay, man. You gotta try it.
I have to go back to town
What?
with all the potions I have.
Ooh.
I thought I bought more.
Oh, wait a minute. Check your stuff. Did it not stack it? You bought some stacks of 10.
I bought.
I guess you
downs.
bought. Okay.
I thought I bought some too. I apparently did not.
No. How do you lose Edward? I can't remember. I know it happens soon, but like, does he fall with the one guy or like?
He falls off the ship.
Ah, okay. Okay. Because I was thinking about how do you not fight the other guy with him, but that's totally like, I get this place and Ordeals mixed up. I don't know why.
It's the exact same tile set.
That's probably why. And they're so close together in the game. I know sometimes it can be really far apart, but if you're just pounding out this game, they're pretty close together.
On top of that, it has they both have the same opening. Rydia casts fire to get rid of the ice block, while Palom and Porum cast ice to get rid of the firewall.
I forgot about that. Yeah. I probably just merged all that shit together. And the enemy theming isn't too far off of this place, is it?
No, it's a lot of undead and shit like that. Although Mount Ordeals has more like lamias and shit like that like charm you.
Okay. Because this one more has elemental enemies. That one, like you said, has more suspects in it. So,
yeah.
Okay. So it's stuff Cecil has a hard time with, and stuff everybody has a hard time with.
I will tell you this though, going up Mount Ordeals is a fucking challenge. Going down Mount Ordeals is not even a thing to stress over.
Is it just because he's so strong with that sword?
Yup. Come on, Grandma. Keep dropping that fork.
No, it's just
Oh.
I only dropped the fork once.
Oh, man.
She goes, what I need to do instead of putting it on my lap, put it up and just pack it up here.
Ah. I said I need to get Edward to 12. Apparently I need to get him to 15.
How many hit points do you need to have on him?
More than 127.
What causes bombs to blow up in this one? Is it a random chance, or is it like a number of hits, or...
Number of hits. Hitting them 3 times will start their countdown.
Okay.
Yeah, Edward leveled up. Rosa leveled up. Learned Protect.
Cool.
Nice.
How much does it reduce damage by in this one?
Sure. I wonder if it gives me a better description of spells. Nope.
You mean no description at all? Yep. Although I guess it's funny because that brings me back to when I had to figure out what spells did in Final Fantasy games.
Don't remember if cure spells heal them or hurt them. So we are going to safe path it. God damn. No, on my luck that would have cured him. But I was going to risk it. I don't feel like this is sorted.
Is it dry ether? Is it stronger or weaker?
Stronger.
Okay, yeah, I guess that means less, more pure. Less water.
I know I've certainly expanded my mind with ether.
I mean, it can have that effect. I was just thinking more like, I'll never understand why people put water in liquor. You remember when I found out what dry meant in that context, and I was like, so alcohol.
Made it!
Although it's funny that dry is both a term for only alcohol and for no alcohol.
Yeah. Just give me pure paint thinner and I'll be good to go. God damn. I'm starting to wonder who could take a hit better here amongst all the party members, because obviously Edward cannot take a hit.
Yeah, you can put him in the back row. Doesn't his thing work in the back row?
Yeah.
Just switch up the thing where there's 3 in the back. No, just switch like Cecil and Righty out, and then like Rosa and. Oh, there you go. Have you been like plussing his armor and stuff? Like, did you buy as good stuff as you could for everybody?
Yeah. There's fuck all and nothing.
Okay. It is kind of cruel in this game. Every time it takes your characters away, it's like, we're going to delete all their stuff. It's like, but why? Because I know you don't need to hold on to everything, but like, there's plenty of times when it's like, well, I kind of like that head back.
There are versions of the game that disrobe people that leave the party.
Oh.
I want to say the DS version does that.
Well, that's handy.
I mean, it's the least the game could fucking do.
I didn't realize how much Final Fantasy VII does that. I used to think I lost more in those kinds of situations. But, it will take... You do lose weapon equipped, armor equipped. Or everything else. Materia, accessories, takes off them.
Yeah. $470 experience. What about Cecile?
You know, I can't remember. When it takes everybody from you, when you're just Tifa and Barret, right? Oh. Does it do it in that instance? Does it take their materia and accessories off?
I think you can still access the other party members' materia through the exchange.
Okay.
Because you can still access Barret and Tifa's stuff when it's just Cloud and Aeris in Midgar.
So, is she the only character they ever take out of your party?
Yes. Oh, Yuffie. Yuffie is removed from your party for a short while.
Oh, yeah.
But she takes all of your materia, so you can't... You know what I mean?
Well, but do you lose access to her in that part?
Yes.
Okay. I can't remember. Does it take her accessories off and stuff?
No.
Okay. So that only applies to Aeris?
I think so.
Have you ever had so much materia? And I have done this before. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't know it would be a thing. But have you ever had so much materia that you still had some left over?
Yeah. A ton of... Yeah.
Do you like to just still put some on at that part of the game?
Well,
Because you know she has a priority of what she takes, and she can leave you with some decent stuff if you have enough.
yeah, and then she just kind of puts it back in rando spots.
Oh yeah, but I'm just talking about when you still have stuff left over. Have you ever had enough to like still throw a couple things on?
Not a lot, but I have had some things. I've had a couple of pieces left.
Which hasn't happened to me in a long time. I don't like... Part of the reason I'm more careful with it now is, in that same level, I didn't get the underwater material. Not because I didn't go and talk to the guy, because when he gave it to me, it deleted it because my inventory was full.
Ooh.
Of course, that was back when I, like, everybody has their own cure materia and fire materia, you know. And it's not necessarily the whole roster, but, you know, whoever's currently in my party or whatever.
Man, she learned Cure 2 earlier than I expected her to.
Hey, he's up to ×2.
Yeah, he is. Didn't notice that. Oh, Rosa, she's probably ×2 as well. Okay,
Oh, cool.
okay. But he's still only ×3.
Isn't it? No, I can't remember. Maybe I'm wrong about this. I know Paladin ends up being stronger than Dark Knight.
Yeah.
But isn't it true that at lower level, Dark Knight's a little bit stronger? Or does Paladin just get so much stronger so fast that that's never true?
No, Paladin outpaces Dark Knight the whole way through.
Okay.
I mean, the only time Paladin doesn't, well, and technically it still does.
When you start out with so many hit points that...
You start with 600 hit points
Yeah,
as
this
a
is-
level 1 Paladin,
Yeah.
and you start out with better stats. And so that right there, you've already outpaced the previous class.
Okay. Whenever you get to that point, I want to see, like, what the stat... Because I tend to not remember to do that, and it's been a long time since I've done anything like that in this, you know what I mean?
We should get to that point next week.
Oh, no, I'm not... I just meant when we do get to that point.
You're gonna have to remind me.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna say. There's like, when we get to that next week, you will have to remind me.
Okay. I'll try.
Yes. Yes. Did Cecile get another level? Or another attack? No, he did not.
Is it going to be at 20? What is it like? Is I guess is I don't remember. Is it plateaus of strength or is it just level and it feels like it hits plateaus of strength when it does it?
It's plateaus of strength.
Okay. See, I can't remember where his next one is. Like I said, one of the things I did when I was a kid with this game, this was one of the first games I did this kind of thing with, is I sat down and wrote notes and tried to... It turned out I was close but wrong about how the math worked,
Yeah.
but I reverse engineered the stats and watched them grow and made predictive charts and stuff like that to be like,
Wow.
how high level do I have to get, you know, more attacks, stuff like that.
We're gonna level up, or we're going to use a tent. We're going to save, and then we're going to move on.
Part of the reason I don't, it's funny because part of the reason I don't prepare for games as much as I used to, is I'm a lot more okay than I was when I was a child about my first run not being an awesome run. You know, like, I don't know what my thought process was that made me thought that was like how it should go, but kind of the idea of, no, this isn't a learning run, this is the run. You know, like,
Yeah.
it's like, and I probably should say that because, like, the way I ended up playing Elden Ring was very experimental the first time I played it. And I wouldn't have played it that way when I was a kid. I'd have been like, no, super serial, I gotta do the stats right and everything.
I was hoping that would charm him.
You still have that character?
Which character?
The character I made on the PlayStation 5 when I first played.
Pretty sure.
Okay. At some point, not necessarily tonight, I would like to kind of sit and look at what the character's even like. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff I'd be like, why am I set up like this?
I would not make that choice today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. After all of the playing I did on some of those original characters, I made a character on my computer that, like, this is the pinnacle of my knowledge back then. And even that character is much more badass as they are than my original characters. I go back and I'm like, why do I have these items on? Believe it or not, with that character, I killed the Blackguard guy, so I couldn't get Crab at all.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with skeletons.
Of course, the first time I ran through the game, except for arrows, which I eventually started finding enough runes to buy, I was like, consumables, too rich for my blood. Ooh, is that critical?
Yep.
Cool. It's like, my hit points aren't low enough. Yeah, I remember Tornado, Twister, whatever the game calls it in that particular one, when I first came across it, I was like, surely this will do wind damage. No, it is not.
It's like Spinal Tap. He broke like the wind.
uh,
I'm just ready for the next fight. Ooh, what's this? Holy arrows. What was that?
mostly naked man.
Ah, I can't play this version anymore.
I feel your pain. It is funny because when I first came across that, I was like, what the fuck? But, at this point, it's a thing. It's what he does.
The battle cry of the monks of Fabul is not hi-ya, it's a chew.
Yep.
Fuck you.
I feel that way about, what is it, Rally Ho instead of Tally Ho.
Yeah. Well, so, okay. There's variations of that in this game. There's Lolly-Ho and Rally-Ho.
Oh, yeah. It has to do with regional, right?
Yep. That has to do with where
Yeah.
they're from.
But I feel like in one of the later games, they made it something else. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like they did here. I think it's in 9. What do they say in 9? I know they made dwarves look weird in that one, but like... You remember the dwarf village, right? Place where they get married?
I think they say Lolly-Ho there, don't they?
I don't remember. Probably.
Hi-ya. Man, that is... He's so upset over that. That's a bomb! We have to help it.
It is always funny in, like, fiction and video games. It happens this maybe more than some other, where it's like, man, this guy's a badass who can kill everything on his own. We really need to help him.
Yeah. They fixed that.
Did he used to be weak to dark?
No,
Or she or whatever? What?
Yang hits with both fists every time.
Oh. As opposed to, well, maybe he'll do this element.
Yang doesn't have any claws equipped in this fight. So he's only hitting once instead of hitting twice. Watch.
Ah. Did he used to? Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm used to the animation, but I don't really think of the significance of why it happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking of the yeah. Interesting. I guess I thought that was intentional. So, you think they'll turn claw swipes into one attack?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Why are you attacking instead of using it?
Huh?
Didn't Rydia have the ice staff?
Oh, I'm just not that worried about it out of her. I'm
Yeah.
more worried about the damage that that Keckle and Yang do. But you're right, I should be doing that.
This is not
Oh, they're
doing
just does shit. Okay.
Never mind. Maybe they're weak to water in this one.
Did I over prepare for this fight?
Maybe. I'd say I tend to use kick in it a little more than you have been.
Well, I mean, when you're single targeting,
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense to kick.
Because I forget the first two phases are single target. I mean, considering how much the Grey Bombs do damage to even back row members, so maybe not. Yeesh.
Yeah, that was rough. I never fuck him, he's dead. Really? Alright, game.
I bet Solve makes the part where you're doing the thing in the castle a lot more reasonable, though, doesn't it? Let me ask you this. Were there any parts of Final Fantasy XVI where you felt like you could get stuck in a situation you might not be able to handle? Because that's one of those situations I've had to, like, be like, well, I have to do this or start over again in that part before. And, like, because the idea was, I was like, my levels don't matter. I'm going to reset. I'm going to get these kids. So I would just, like, ran right through it, like, just, you know, as fast as I fucking could. And I kind of hit that part, and I was like, dang.
No, I can't say that I ever felt that way where I was just like, man. I mean, I had some moments where I was like, oh, well, I guess I need to go grind some more or something, but I never had like a moment where I was like, I'm going to have to wash this run.
Yeah. So I guess, you know, I'm not saying anything against this being a change.
No, okay, so he only has the one claw. Okay.
But like, oh, that is kind of a change in game design nowadays, isn't it? That there doesn't tend to be those, I don't want to say designed dead ends, but kind of gotcha states, you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, you should have prepared better.
Yeah.
Because another part I've been like that in a game is and it's funny because playing it now, I almost feel like, how did I get to that state? But like, I just didn't know these games as well back then. But the fight against Kefka's little like army on top of the mountain, in the middle, like beginning of I guess the end of the first part of the game in Final Fantasy VI, when you go up on the mountain, you make the little teams, and the guys come through the maze. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, I was stuck on that part of the game at one point because I just once again ran through it so fast and everything, and I didn't have like
Shit, I did an ice rod.
a bunch of whatchamacallit, I didn't have like
No,
Plain
Final
things.
Fantasy VI has tons of spots in it that you can get stuck, and you can wash or run.
well,
That is one of the worst games that it can be done in.
you know, it's funny because if you get high enough level, it doesn't feel like it, and if you kind of consistently stay at the right level, but like that is a game where your level truly matters. You know what I mean? Because that's like the foundation of how powerful you are. Because stats don't go up in that. A lot of it's just times your level, or yeah, you know what I mean, or something like that.
Dude, what the fuck? Damn it. I'm not running. Fuck him.
Yeah, pray for a better party. So let me ask you this. If you got to pick who you used at the end of the game, like, out of all the characters they let you play, who do you think you would make a party out of? Would it be the one you get at the end of the game, or do you think it would be a little different?
It would be a little different. I might trade out Rydia and Rosa for Pollen and Thorin.
Yeah, I could definitely see doing that. They
Now,
are more
that is-
focused, in a way.
Well, Twincast is really fucking powerful.
Oh yeah, it is. But I mean,
Um,
okay, I know that's a big reason to do it, but you know what I mean about how even in their own right, they're more focused than those two other characters.
Yeah.
Because I'm very much a white mage, I'm very much a black mage, you know.
I would have Cecil, I'd have Kane. The question is who would I have in the 5th spot? And I might take Sid, just to have another, like, melee class in there.
Yeah,
But
see that.
Edge is really powerful.
What makes Ed powerful?
He has throw and he's got ninja magic. And the
Okay.
ninja magic is whatever, but throw is where it is fucking at.
What do you usually throw at stuff? Or are you just talking about in certain boss situations using the spoon and stuff?
I mean, I throw the spoon at the demon wall every fucking time because I'm trying to get out of that fight as quickly as possible. But you know, Edge can throw every weapon in the game, so you can sit there and clone, Cecil's swords and just launch them.
So let's say you were going to not clone to do it, right?
Yeah.
What would you say would be the thing to get a hold of a bunch of to throw? Somewhere between accessibility and practicality. Because I know that you could grind out adamantite and make 1,000,000 Excaliburs or whatever, and just throw those at things. But like,
So, what I might do is probably just go back to... Well, I would go to the blacksmith at the end of the game, and I would just buy a shit ton of shurikens.
Are they better than like whatever the high-end weapons are at that point?
They're not bad. They're pretty good. They deal some really decent damage.
Yeah, that's one of the problems with 6, is most of them you can't buy, you have to acquire them some other way. And it's
Yeah.
like, why? It's not strong enough to put this much effort into it. I'm not saying it's not a good ability, but you know what I mean? It's not like, now I got these. Breaking the game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't want to say throw breaks the game. It's very fair because you have to consume an item to deal
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of damage.
Even something like the spoon, where you can only do that once.
Yeah, because you can't equip the spoon at all.
Yeah.
Um,
So does it have some special property, or does it just have the highest attack value in the game?
Not sure. I just know it deals a shit ton of damage, and I will tell you, on more runs than not, I have not gotten the spoon because I got in a hurry and then just skipped over it.
What dungeons don't? This game has exit or whatever, right? Warp that lets you get out of dungeons, right?
So warp takes you up a level, exit takes you out of the dungeon.
What dungeons don't allow you to use those spells?
Dungeons that have events on the way out.
So one of them is the Demon Wall one?
Yeah, you can't teleport out of the demon wall.
I guess I don't necessarily mean avoiding the Demon Wall itself, but you can't teleport out of that dungeon.
But if I remember to do this, I will do this on this turn, on this playthrough. When I get to the underground, I will do the warp skip for later in the game.
You're actually just gonna skip that much of the game, or you're just gonna see if it works?
So, I don't know if it works in this version, but if you cast warp after you've beaten Calbrina, you can warp back into the crystal room, because warp takes you to the previous floor
Yeah.
you were on,
And that's they
Then
treat
you can
them as
pick up-
floors, yeah.
and then you can pick up the dark crystal, and then when you get to the sealed cave, as soon as you get to the door going in, it triggers the event where Kane takes the crystal and deuces out of the party.
Ah. Okay. Is there anything worth getting down there? I know there's some monsters worth some pretty good experience. And I can't remember if there's anything that's special dropped or special like in a chest down there though.
Cecil has a decent sword in there. There are some decent weapons in there.
But nothing that's not either there's a better version of or it's unique to there.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Did they add the fire claw? Or wait, this place gets destroyed, doesn't it?
Yep.
That's why you have no access to it. I was like, I know eventually you have no access to it. Let me ask you this. Is there ever a reason to have 2 of the same claw on?
Double up on damage for enemies that are weak to a specific thing.
So at this point of the game, you should buy 1 more of each claw?
No. I'm about to lose Yang.
Well, you'll get them back eventually. That's what I was talking about. You might ultimately want to either buy extra copies or take the stuff off so that later in the game you can have elements
Well,
on
I
the stuff.
I can come back here later.
So you can still buy all that stuff later?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought one of the claws became inaccessible.
The only
Okay.
claws that are inaccessible, because they show up later, is like Cat Scratch, and there's another one. The ones that you find in dungeons, those are the ones that are like, nah, this is your one and only opportunity to get it.
Okay.
And then after that, you have to, like, you have to, dupe them.
You get a Yang a total of 3 times, right?
Twice.
Just twice? Okay.
You run into him 3 times.
Because I couldn't remember how many times you had to preserve him specific equipment. Does an edge use claws?
Yep.
That's what I was saving them for.
I'd use katanas, claws, knives. I think that's it.
His best stuff end up being katanas?
Yep. Well, his best weapons in the game are the Mirasama and the Masamune.
Is it because of pure attack value?
Yep.
Because claws have no attack value, right?
Yeah, they do.
Maybe it's just the elemental ones that don't.
It's the elemental ones that don't. Well, maybe the other ones don't. I don't remember. But
Because I know Yang's so powerful, he doesn't need them.
Yeah, no,
if you
just-
sat here and ground with him like you did with the other characters, you know.
Yi Yang would be a problem. I mean, Cecil's a problem right now.
I think Yang is in a lot of ways, as much as I like Sabin, I think Yang is a better representation of old fist-using characters before they stopped. Like, if you remember something that they used to have, and I know this one still has number of hits, but they used to have, like, tons of hits.
Yeah.
And just do ridiculous amounts of damage to the point where defense didn't matter, because they
Yeah.
were hitting so many times.
No, you're good. We're gonna kill it here because I have to be up early in the morning. We're gonna try to meet again at some point during the week. We're gonna try to get through this so that we can move on to other things. And a new schedule is coming, and hopefully it'll be, we'll be consistent with it. So that when you guys, you'll know, like, oh, that's the time. We're gonna try to treat this like TV, where we have scheduled times where we're gonna try to be here, and maybe we'll be a little late, maybe we'll be a little over, maybe we'll be a little early, maybe we'll leave a little early. But the idea is we're gonna try to work on that a little better. And then any other time, it's just gravy. I'm playing Warcraft, or Nerd Leader's playing what Nerd Leader plays. Please check out us on Twitch and on YouTube. Give us the like, the follow, the subscribe, the fun buttons. Fun buttons. Check out our sub goals on Twitch. Help us out. Help the channel grow. Make my life fucking miserable by making me play Pokemon and Kingdom Hearts.
Do it. Like, I'm not even worried about the financial gain. I really want John to play Kingdom Hearts so bad. See, you know what? I want the worst case scenario. I want you to still hate it, but also love the gameplay.
Smart. So yeah, that's where we're at with things. Midnight's launching soon, at the end of this month. March 2nd, I think, is when it launches, when it goes live. I'm not getting the Heroic Edition because I don't need to play the game 3 days earlier than everyone else. I will be playing it on March 2nd.
Yeah, pre-orders are kind of expensive enough.
Yeah, and I've already pre-ordered the game. I've already pre-purchased it.
Yeah.
And
don't worry, folks. Blizzard has his money.
yes. Blizzard is a company that knows how to get my fucking money for sure. That's all I've got for now. We're gonna have other stuff coming up. Like I said, we're gonna try to hammer out a schedule. I'm thinking Sunday, Monday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm feeling. So maybe we'll be back tomorrow, and if not, I'll post something. I'll be back Tuesday and Thursday with Warcraft for sure on at least YouTube. I'm sure Nerd Leader will be back at those days as well on Twitch with probably Elden Ring or some other classic retro fun shenanigans. Been playing a lot of Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
And I'm John.
It's Nerd Leader.
You guys have a good one.